Are you all enjoying Questy Valori so far? Hope you're all good. My name is Ashma and I will be running Ruined King, a League of Legends story for you. And with me I have the ever wonderful and world record holder in this game.
Hello, my name is Zazu, and as I already said, I'm the one and only world record holder as well as route cook for this game.
Oh, he has been cooking absolutely for sure there. Yeah, we're already excited to be here because I think this is the first time that this game is being shown off at a marathon. So, yeah, pretty exciting times here. We'll be starting from a new profile. We're doing a new game, and out of the 4 difficulty options that we have, we'll be playing on story difficulty, which is also the easiest difficulty we have in the game. So I guess we have about 3.5 hours or so to talk about the game, so let's just go ahead and jump right in 3, 2, 1, go. So story difficulty is kind of interesting because, you know, not only is it the easiest difficulty setting that the game has to offer, it also has a very interesting function where if you pause a fight, you then get an option to outright complete the fight. You basically just win. And that is basically the category that we're running right now, any percent NFS. It's not Need for Speed. I mean, we do have Need for Speed because it's a speedrun, but it actually stands for any percent no fight skip, because I will not be skipping the fights. I will be doing the fights as basically, you know, the developers intended. So we're actually going to see the fighting system and how it plays out, because that is actually the bread and butter of the game. Like, the fighting system is like really good. I really do enjoy how the fights play out in this game, and I think Zazu, you're kind of the same.
Yeah, I also really like the fighting system. I'm generally a fan of the turn-based combat. I guess we're about to see some of that soon, and we can get more into detail then. But yeah, story difficulty, as I said, is the easy mode, and it's just so you can see the story. You don't really care about
exactly
difficult stuff.
Still got killing.
There are
just
multiple difficulties, like, yeah, go ahead.
Just gonna say, just don't ask me about any League of Legends lore. Like, we were talking about this in the intermission before the run started. I have played like, I think 3 matches of League of Legends in my life, and that was more than a decade ago. I haven't touched League of Legends or anything related to it since, except this game. And I do like this game, I do like the story, I do like the characters, but, you know, don't ask me anything about League of Legends. I probably won't be able to answer it. So, you know, just putting that out there.
I believe this was the first game in the series of,
You know,
I think they were called Riot Forge games, where they tried to, you know, do lore outside of League, the game. But yeah, here's our first combat. It's turn-based. We can see the turn order in the middle, down there. There's 3 different lanes. If anyone's played Pokemon Legends Arceus, where you can make your skills either happen, or your moves happen faster, or have them do more damage. This game works kind of similarly. You can switch your attacks to the speed lane to make them go faster but do less damage, or you can put them in the so-called power lane for more damage, but they take longer to cast and there's a longer...
It's kind of interesting how they incorporate like the whole, you know, lane system, I want to say, from the League of Legends game into this RPG. And like Zazu said, basically like these 3 lanes that do different things. You have the speed lane, the balance lane, and the power lane. Speed lane generally, you know, the move executes a little bit faster. Power, you do more damage, but it's slower. And balance is just like, you know, normal attack. But not only does it do that, depending on how you allocate your skill points a bit later on your runes, it changes your skills even more, so they can have like special effects depending on if you execute them in a speed or power or a balance lane. So you know, you don't always want to just go for, like, you know, the big damage numbers in the power lane. You might want to go for a speed lane or even a balance lane attack instead.
And here we are actually taught about said lanes. There are some special passives that get either activated or deactivated based on the moves you do. This Sailor Ghost thingy had a passive that if you don't hit it with a speed lane move, it will blow up at the end as it dies, and we would take some damage. I don't think the damage would do much to us because this is story difficulty, but it's...
Basically, yeah. Like, things tend to die pretty quickly when you're playing on story difficulty, for sure.
But yeah, any lore nerds who, I guess, like League for the lore, not the game itself, I'd say this is a good game. This game came out around the time Diego was going to be released. Spoiler, The Ruined King. And it was a pretty big event at the time, but I think there were some issues with the development, and it got delayed by a bunch. And it didn't really line up with the League of Legends in
Oh, really?
Run.
I actually didn't know that. I was always wondering, wait, is Diego like an actual, you know, champion of League of Legends, or isn't he? Because I hadn't heard anything about him, so I was all like, did they really just invent him for this game, or is he actually showing up in that at some point? Now I finally know.
Yeah. Here we fight two rats. They have a passive where before you hit them with a speed move, every attack has a 15% chance to miss them. If it's not a speed move. So that's why we do a speed lane shredder, which is a random target multi-attack.
Don't talk.
Also, you saw me just do a manual save before this fight, and this might come into play quite a bit later in the run if you do a specific thing. I'm not going to spoil it just yet what it will be, but, you know, keep it in the back of your mind for now.
Brothers and sisters.
Let's just say that the wisp that we walked around is a very big soul.
Oh, yes. So yeah, we're basically out of the tutorial land for now, out of the section where we play as Misfortune in her manor, and, you know, she gets invaded by these ghost types, and we are switching to one of the other main characters of the game, which is Ilawi. She's like the she's like a mixture between a tank and a healer, I want to say, and she's really good, at least in the beginning of the game, and she's accompanied by these two other guys who, well, are not quite as important. But we'll see about that in a minute here. We're just gonna walk into this bar and, you know, very friendly ask for some information.
We're looking for someone called
Blood Harbor Ripper.
Blood Harbor Ripper. There it is.
Surely.
Perhaps a display.
Sorry.
So,
You see this sword?
And this little man may or may not know something.
I just like, you know, that she gives him like one good gut punch and he just immediately buckles down. I mean, she is a big lady, isn't she?
I don't scare, I don't tire, and I don't stop.
As for when this is happening in the like League of Legends universe timeline, if anyone's played League, you might remember back in, I think, season 6 question mark, so 2016.
Is that all you had?
There was an event with Gangplank, and basically Gangplank died and was disabled in League of Legends for like a week or two. It was kind of funny. This is basically happening after it, or at some point after it in the timeline. MF has taken over Bilgewater from Gangplank, who was the Reaver King for the longest time.
My new
Yeah, this is basically shortly after Misfortune has taken control of Bilgewater from Gangplank, and, you know, the events that follow after that. Basically, the basic storyline is, and we will see that very shortly, that a harrowing is happening, where like deathly mist and shadowy creatures from the Shadow Isles are spilling over into Bilgewater, and Ilawi as a priestess, and of course Misfortune as the new head of town of Bilgewater, are interested in, you know, stopping that so it doesn't kill all the people around you, and that is kind of how the story begins to unfold. But here he is, the Blood Harbor Ripper.
What?
abomin.
No.
one of the fan favorite characters in League, I think still to this day.
And we are gonna punch his head in, so to speak.
These early game fights are very straightforward on story difficulty. We pretty much just click on a power lane attack and spam that until enemies are dead.
Pretty much. But it has a really nice flow to it. Like if you just watch this and if you execute the attack menus, right, it just have a really nice flow of all the combat that is happening. It's like really fast and just really satisfying to watch because everything still has, like this little crunch to it. And it's just really cool, I think. You don't get that in like a lot of RPGs where, you select your attacks from a menu and then they execute. Sure, but there's always like a little bit of a delay to it with like the animations and stuff. But if you put on the fast forward for the animation in this game, it just really just keeps on going, and it has just a really nice flow to it, I feel.
Also, did I just see correctly that Ilawi gets to level 5 from the pike fight?
I think so, yeah.
So much XP.
As for reference, Yasuo has been mostly grinding away on heroic difficulty, which is the highest difficulty of the game, and things are a little bit harder there.
I have wept,
My child.
Yeah, it's a different run.
Only the mistakes. Then ask.
Elder.
On that difficulty, I think enemies have doubled HP compared to story difficulty, and I would assume things do more damage.
It's a huge leap. Like if you're playing this game casually and you're playing on heroic difficulty, the game kinda expects you to basically do all of the side content to be still on the same power level as the stuff that you are facing. So if you don't do that, you're gonna have a pretty rough time if you're playing on heroic. But yeah, the game like all around is like really tightly balanced, like with its difficulty. So if you find ways to break that balance, it can, well, tip the scales heavily either against you or in your favor. And since we're speedrunners, we are kind of looking to do the latter, and that we will do like, I want to say 2 hours ish into the run, depending. So yeah, we will kind of start really plowing through things here. I mean, I think we're actually doing it a little bit earlier already, but like 2 hours in is like the big breaking point where we just basically take the game's balance and its mechanics and just break them in half.
Yeah. But here we got our second character for this current party, Braum. Braum is a wholesome Giga Chad. He's the like real tank of the game. And his team is kind of setting up shields and just flat damage reduction, mostly. He's got a big shield. It's really a door. Or actually, this one I think is just the remains of a boat. This fight can get a little annoying if you, I guess, get unlucky.
I just hate when that little guy just survives with just a little bit of HP. It just completely throws me off sometimes.
The Padfoot there has a passive where it has a, I forget what the chance is, but it has a chance to,
I think 25%, something like
25, that. It's actually kind of nasty. A 25% chance to dodge any non-speed lane move, and if he does evade an attack, the next attack he does like a melee damage. I don't know how lethal it's on story difficulty, but on heroic that's like you just die.
It's not that bad, but yeah. you don't want to see it happen for sure. Also, just read in chat that yes, this game is directed by Joe Madureira. As you might know, the head of the Darksiders franchise, or at least he was until a point, until Visual Entertainment kinda, you know, I want to say fell apart, and then the core team of that went ahead and founded Airship Syndicate, the developers of this game, and also other games like Battle Chasers Night War, another JRPG that they developed a couple years before this, which is also pretty good. And if you played Battle Chasers, you kind of feel right at home with this one, because, you know, it kind of takes like a lot of the core mechanics and incorporates them here. And I'm personally a really big fan of Airship Syndicate and their games. Like, I really do love them, like the, you know, Darksiders, especially Darksiders Genesis. And I've recently already picked up Wayfinder, which tends to be a lot of fun. Really enjoy my time with that as well.
So story-wise, we're supposed to go and meet up with Miss Fortune right now, but we're going to do some quick side content before doing that.
So we're not supposed to be in this warehouse, like, at all. Like, as you see, we're like level 5, and these rats that are chasing me right now, they're level 11. So I don't want to get into contact with them if I can help it, but I do want to open this treasure chest here, because it gives me a sword. And then I will quickly make a new save. And then I will immediately go ahead and load that save as well. And what that does, basically, it saves that I have opened that treasure chest, that I have its contents. But the game will put me back at the entrance of this warehouse, so I can just go ahead and immediately leave again.
Very handy. Also, I saw that you got an epic upgrade on the sword. That's actually very rare.
Ooh, didn't even catch that. Nice.
I've only seen it twice.
I'm just questioning myself why I'm going that way, but I guess it worked. Taking a bit of a scenic route down there.
Very slight difference on how long you have to get through.
But yeah, that was like a little detour to do like half of the side quest there, just to grab that sword. Now, as you can probably see, none of the two characters that we have access to at the moment actually use swords. So that sword is actually meant for another character that will join us in a little bit here. What we're doing now is we're doing another little side quest trip, and that is actually something that you routed in just a short while ago. Because we will go ahead and go into this bar that you can see in the background down there and talk to a lady to get an ethereal lens, which basically lets us see like invisible items or items that are on another plane of existence, so we can go ahead and collect them, and that will allow us later on to grab a chest to get an item out of that, so we don't have to do another battle against another high-level enemy that we technically wouldn't be ready for, because we're on story difficulty. We can kind of easily defeat him, but it's still a little bit of a harrowing fight, so if we can go ahead and skip that, all the better.
Yeah, so originally when I routed the story category run, we would go and fight this angular trickster enemy. I just call it the fish. And it's a little tricky because it's high level, and it has some nasty effects like stealing your buffs, and it can also apply multiple debuffs, and if you get the bad debuffs, like you get stunned, you can just die the next turn.
Oh my god. Just accept it. Sorry.
So when I started running the heroic version of the run, I still wanted access to black marks, which is why we are doing this side quest as well. More on that later. And I could not find any anywhere. They really don't like giving them out. They mostly drop from bosses, and that's about it. But then I went and the redstone. Okay, they just ignored
Works for me.
Yeah, so I browsed through the Speedrun Discord, and there were some very ancient lists of loot that someone had written up, and there I saw there was this one item that you could get, but I never figured out how to get it. And then once I finally figured out it, you need the ethereal lens to grab it. And everything kinda clicks in place. Yeah, one more fight before we get to Misfortune. These are some more goons that used to work for, I guess, Gangplank and the guy who we beat up in the intro with MF. Captain Thorn, what's his name?
Captain Thorn, yes. Also, yeah, just quickly talking about like how the route came to be. I guess a lot of people around here probably know Palmer as an RPG speedrunner, and he was actually one of the first to look into speedrunning and routing this game. So a lot of the early routing was done by him, and you know, the finding of the glitches and abuses that we do during that. I was also one of the first runners of the game. I did only one run though, because I am on console, and I think I'm the only console runner of this game. I'm currently playing on a PlayStation 5, and initially I was playing on a PlayStation 4. I did one run of it on a PlayStation 4, and I really didn't like it because the load times were so freaking long that I just didn't see the point to it, to be quite honest. And I think it was about a year ago or so, Xazu, where you started running this game. And I think ever since then you've brought the times down a lot since its initial run, so to speak.
Yeah, pretty much. There was not too much to work with. There were some good runs on the boards which I could follow, but there weren't any any public notes shared, so I think you also did the same thing. You just looked at the runs and made your own notes based on that.
Basically, yeah. I mean, there is like only a very small community running this game. I think other than just the two of us, there is like one new runner that crept up, like I want to say 2 weeks ago or so. It's a French runner by the name of Onlicour, who is also now actively running the game. And then there's Wumumu, and I want to say Palmer, and that's about it. There are a couple other people who did, like, I want to say a run or two, but never, you know, stuck around. So it's a very small community for this game, which is a bit of a shame because it's a really good game.
So,
It isn't it?
whatever. I like to know.
Are you
How about
you have
And now we get to enjoy the 3 or so minute mashing segment.
Yeah, it's like the one segment of the game that has like the most story crammed into it, because at this point they're kind of trying to set up, like, quote unquote, all the characters story-wise and how, you know, their stories intertwine and fit together and whatnot.
I hear you sell.
I can.
Who was the
Well, it's a bit of a downtime here, like right at the start.
Tell her.
now?
Yeah.
Your client.
The client.
Grey Harbor.
The place
Yeah, Yasuo is in Bilgewater, which is not something you would
Neither do I.
guess when you
You're
start
looking
this
for an
game.
ancient.
Like,
You learned
what's
it.
this guy doing in Bilgewater? This is a pirate
Streets
place.
are dangerous.
I mean, to be fair, he's kind of the reason why I'm running this game in the first place.
Really?
Yeah. Like, I kind of made it my niche, so to speak, to run like samurai games, and you know, he's kind of a samurai guy, so obviously I was drawn to that. So yeah, it's basically the reason I started running this game.
Take and a
Thanks.
So I'm really glad that he actually, spoilers, I guess, will be sticking around for the whole of the run. Like, he's one of the 3 main characters for the speedrun. Story-wise, he is really not that important. I want to say, like, the only character that is even less important to the story is Braum. Like, if you write these 2 characters out of the story, I don't think you're missing much.
I should never have his emotions. It'll be
They're really only tangentially important. Which is a bit of a shame,
I'm kinda
for
sad.
sure.
Yeah, I'm sad Braum doesn't have a big role.
Yeah.
He does have in this early game, and he's a fun, like, comic relief kind of guy.
Honestly, like I said, I don't know a lot about League of Legends, but Braum is a treasure. Like, all of his interactions with any of the characters is just great. Absolutely love every single line that's coming out of that big guy.
Brom's... he's great. Well, we get to play the game again.
Yay! We get to punch stuff in the face.
I am a priestess.
Let's go.
I don't care who. Perhaps we should try.
Open your gate.
Fine, lady. Opening the gate.
I also really like that Braum is like, you know, a bit of a pacifist in a way, and Ilawi is just like, no, we are going through that gate.
Not quite what the...
It's like really, you know, diametrically opposed when it comes to their personalities.
I will do my best.
Kind of just, you know, clicking the words that do damage. Things die.
Face, meet face.
Exact damage numbers as well. Oh, okay, that's one nice thing I like about this game. If a skill says it does 10 damage, it's gonna do 10 damage. So
Yeah, there's
you
no
actually
guessing
calculate
what your...
how much.
Yeah, exactly.
An Ionian. Here.
I'll say
Oh,
there's
well,
Yasuo.
oh my god, Yasuo's here.
But more importantly, he comes with an ultimate.
Yeah, I actually forget why we are even going to Grey Harbor here.
Because we want to find out more about the harrowing. We were at Misfortune's place, and you know, she told us that she was attacked by these ghosts, and apparently they were coming from Grey Harbor. So we are now on our way there because there is a brewer temple, and Ilawi will try to cleanse that temple because I think, you know, that is where the harrowing is coming from, in order to get rid of it, basically. Okay, but a little bit of menuing here.
Join up. No menu, nice.
Yasuo is on the lookout for, well, his mysterious fox lady companion that he has lost track of.
But yeah, scaling up some abilities here. The big one for Yasuo specifically is the Eye of the Wind buff, which is party-wide critical chance buff. And the bonuses that we add to it make it so that every stack of it gives party members 20% and himself 25%. And that thing stacks 3 times.
Mm-hmm. It's a
last
huge
Latinite
buff.
Something.
It's very nice and makes crits actually consistent. Oh, nice dodge.
That was a very nice dodge. That can go wrong in so many ways. It's not even funny.
I hate this place so much. Like going up these stairs, the crab's upstairs. Like, if I was playing, that crab would have looked down and would have shot me.
Oh my god, I can't imagine I still got this one. That was really good. Holy crap, I've never had it go this smoothly. Yes. So this is a chest that you normally wouldn't pick up in a speedrun. Oh, of course, this one gets me now. At least in story difficulty, what we're after is a new armor for Ilawi, because she will basically be our main tank for the next couple of boss fights. So, you know, we're basically just picking this up for a little bit of marathon safety, so she has a higher chance of surviving those fights and tanking good. I think you said about doubles her tankiness or something, if I remember correctly?
Yeah, right now we could see she has 240 HP, and that's less than either Braum or Yasuo has, and Yasuo is our DPS. And yeah, that one gives us a lot of stamina, and Ilawi currently has her like level 1 weapon and armor, so she doesn't really...
Yeah, so it increases her health by about 90, and then gives her even more defense. Also, you might have seen it that I put the sword that we picked up earlier in that warehouse that we were on for that side quest. That obviously goes to Yasuo. He's only level 7, but he now has like a level 12 sword. So obviously he's our main damage dealer at the moment.
Yeah, doing the speedrun thing where you pick up items out of sequence to power up early. We're gonna do some more of that a bit later.
Oh yes. So there's some traps here. You can kinda easily see them with the holes in the floor, and if you walk over them, obviously, as we saw, some spikes will shoot out, and those will actually damage your party. Now the interesting thing is you cannot use any of your character's abilities outside of combat. So even though Ilawi has a healing spell, I won't be able to use that outside of combat. So if I want to heal outside of combat, I would have to use some potions. And I don't really have a lot of those. They also don't really heal a lot, and they are really slow to use. So if I can help it, I don't want to use them at all.
On PC, thankfully, it's much faster if you use keyboard and mouse. I don't know why it's so slow when you use a controller, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Here we learn about stealth and get to use Yasuo's Eye of the Wind for the first time.
I'm not exactly sure on the numbers, but since we touched upon it, I think like the console speedruns of the game are about, I want to say 10, maybe even 15 minutes or so slower than their PC counterparts, simply because of loading screens and similar issues. You are in a bad spot, lady. Can you come over here? Okay, we'll see it very soon when we do our money dupe. Spoilers, I guess, a little bit later. How slow that goes. But before that, we have a boss fight.
Here's Malik. He had, I guess, a sunstone or something, and that kept away the mist, and now he broke it, and now he's dead.
Good luck. Have fun.
For this boss, you don't want anyone to fall or too low on HP because the boss gets more haste and big damage buff as well when anyone is below 40. No, if someone is below 40 health, 40% health, the boss will target that character even if you taunt and heal. So we're looking to still somewhat high health. It shouldn't be the biggest issue here.
Didn't even have to use the ult. I'll take it.
The temple.
Damn it.
Let up.
So here we're gonna kind of see that Yasuo is basically the crit character. You give crit to the party, and he gets a lot of crit from his abilities for himself, and he also has a passive that gives more crit from the equipment that he has.
And that skill that I used where he does like a lot of these slashes, like with every crit he does during that, he gets basically another attack in that chain up to a maximum of, I think, +5 hits in the attack. Which, you know, with all the crit that we stack on him in the first place, is quite substantial or easy to achieve. And of course that lady still gets me.
I will teach you what
These
I can.
two, the sailor and the wisp that's further up ahead. I hate these two. It's so difficult.
Like obviously, you know, a lot of RNG goes into this because it's kind of random where these enemies spawn and then obviously where and how they move. So sometimes you can just get completely blocked off in the way they decide to walk around the map, and then you get into a fight and it takes forever to flee. Opening up a shortcut here for later. And then the turtle is going down. Perfect. Oh my god.
Very nice.
The game giveth and the game taketh away.
The last couple runs I've done, the Hydra Turtle is always in my face. And it's so annoying. The hitbox for the turtle is very weird though. You can usually
it's way
easily
smaller
get,
than you think it
past
is.
it. Yeah.
Which doesn't necessarily make it easier to dodge it. It's just like weird. It can be like half in its hitbox and the fight still doesn't trigger. But yeah, it's weird. So here we are in the temple that we talked about earlier, where we think that we can, you know, cleanse the herring and stomp it. Well, I guess we'll see about that.
The Buru is basically the, I guess the religion that Ilawi and her people follow. And the god that they follow is called Nagakaboros. It's like a big ass kraken. And the basic idea of the religion is to embrace change. And stagnation is bad.
I mean, it's very water-based and everything, so yeah, kind of makes sense.
Just gonna run through here, and then we're gonna have a couple. Oh. We're gonna have a couple puzzles.
There are like a couple traps around here, and I took that corner a little bit too sharply and still got hit by it.
Sometimes you feel like you should be able to pass, but your pinky toe kinda hits the.
Like, I feel like collision boxes in this game can be a little bit tricky sometimes. Like, you know, not only the enemies, but also like just straight up collision if you try to round a corner or something. But then now that we have quote-unquote activated the temple, we have to solve a couple puzzles here to get to the end of it. One of it is for us to do this little sunlight puzzle here.
This is generally a common theme in these Ilawi sections or Buru temple sections. There's a sun and a moon section. Which I find interesting.
So it doesn't really matter in which order you hit these switches, but the solution basically is to hit the left one once, the middle one twice, and the right one 3 times. And it just kind of works out that, you know, the order that I hit them in with walking in between is like the fastest way you can do this.
And the tablets on top of the pillars tell you how many times you need to turn them. So it's not difficult, but it's, you know, something cool. You feel smart when you figure it out. Or dumb if you don't.
Yeah, I was gonna say, or you're just helplessly lost because you didn't get the right combination and you have no idea how to fix it.
So that was the sun puzzle. Next up we're gonna do the moon puzzle. Those spiders took a while to spawn in. That was weird.
So you have to activate 3 glyphs here to open the way through the waterfall. One we already activated, and then there's one in the north pool here, and another one in the south. Activating one in the north first. And then we have to go back around to activate the other one. They're basically shifting the water levels from one pool to the other to basically lay it dry. But it's also just really nice that you can see all the enemies on the map. There are like no random encounters or anything in this game, which I always appreciate if games do that nowadays.
But it does make it feel even worse when you do a random encounter.
Sure, that is true, and I'm not sure if I can make it through these spiders without getting an encounter, but we'll see. They're kind of like in a weird spot there.
I think you might be able to shimmy.
Oh god.
Maybe.
Ooh. Yeah, see, that is exactly what I mean. Like, I should be able to just walk by there, but there was like a weird collision that I got stuck on, and that put me in the fight. But hey, at least I should be able to just face through the spiders now. Nope, I wasn't. Never mind.
Oh, and did the big spider also get tagged?
I think so. Anyway, we are through. actually, let me just top everybody off. Grabbing that.
Doing a quick equipment menu here to set up our people for this next boss. Making Laui specialized in, or more specialized in tanking. This we picked up this earlier, and
Are you sure
Big
you want
spider.
to face Brom?
this fight can get annoying if you get unlucky. The spiders have a web attack, and if they use it on a character who is already webbed, the character gets stunned. So that's why we're trying to focus all the webs on one character. And Ilaoi at this moment isn't really the most useful, so just make her.
A fine success!
Yet my time.
We're gonna focus on the big spider because if we take out the little ones first, the big spider might get a turn to summon more. That's great.
Not anymore, it won't. I mean, I probably could have killed her with another attack, but you know, might as well go for the ult if it's ready.
On to the next.
And the little spider stayed as well. Very strong.
But as you saw, you know, normally you don't even have that armor for Ilaoi there, so she isn't as tanky as she was just now, and she still went down even with the armor, so it's a good thing we actually did go ahead and pick it up.
This stupid rat is still on.
Hey, he's like inching towards
Wait, can
me.
he get over the bridge? I wonder.
I think I'm still. Oh my god, you little, little bastard! Holy hell! What
Gotta love it
the
when the
hell?
enemies.
Also, hello to Froop and the Raiders coming on in. Good to see you. Hope you all well. Welcome into Galactic for Glory, week-long RPG marathon. But I think Froop already told you all about that, and I will take the opportunity to rest here because we have another boss fight just coming up.
This boss can be very annoying. Is Ilaoi level something? Can she get the water spell to do another debuff? I don't know how you usually do it.
I usually don't go for it.
You can apply Sunder to it so you get more stacks.
Wait, does she have? Oh yeah, she has a point, doesn't it? Oh yeah, there's a measure. Oh wait, she can't? Oh, I don't have a free one.
You can take off Harsh Lesson.
I guess so. Okay. So yeah, the next boss fight is very interesting. Like, the game really wants you to use its inspect feature, where you can have a look at all the combatants that are currently present in the fight, and see. You can basically see all the abilities that they have access to, like all the attacks that they can do, and all the passive buffs that they have. And Satal works really interesting in that regard. You want to quickly explain that while I do the fight?
Yeah, so Zatal has a buff where she takes, I think, 90% reduced damage from everything, but the special thing about this fight is that we're supposed to apply debuffs to these two followers, and at a certain... no. Yeah, okay, so we're supposed to apply debuffs to the followers, and then kill them. And the amount of debuff stacks that we have is going to do percentage of Satal's max HP. We need a total of 25 debuffs.
It's good, my friend.
So what we're doing is we've skilled Brom's attacks so that he applies more of the concussion debuffs. As you can see, there are the small ram icons on the right enemy. of course. And yeah.
Are my shield.
Now we just have to wait for her to summon more minions. There they are.
Enemies can have up to, I think it's 12 stacks of concussion, and Yasuo can also increase the stacks. Yasuo also has access to...
Yeah, that was a bit too quick.
Wait here a bit. Ilavi doesn't really have too many debuffs, so we usually make her a tank here. The damage. Her tentacles do small hits at the start of her turns, and the way Chrome's concussion works is anytime you hit an enemy with the concussion debuff, they gain another stack. So what I sometimes like to do is I just spam taunt on Ilavi, so she keeps going again and again and again, and hope that the tentacles hit the enemies with the debuffs. Okay, Zatal is being very good.
There we go.
Catch your breath. Arms mine.
Help me up so I can keep fighting.
So yeah, obviously it's a little bit random when and if she summons more ads for you to put debuffs on, and we were a little bit unlucky in that regard. But yeah, it is what it is sometimes.
Yeah. Didn't wipe, we take those.
True, true.
There's Zatal dropped an item that
I am humble.
we can trade in for a different currency called Black Marks, and that's going to come into play now.
Rest now.
Yes, trust in them.
Who is this man?
And here we find out that
was-
Gangplank, who we
Sounds
kind
to
of
me
thought
like we've
was
got-
dead,
Go on
is
ahead.
actually alive, and he came here earlier, and the spirits are
I fear.
disarray, and
Once I had loved him.
yeah.
I must tell
Here, the
Sepha for
cutscene that we
sake
skipped,
of-
Ilaoi
I hope
basically
I may-
remembers that she was one of the ones who saved Gangplank when misfortune actually took him down, and they took him in and taught him in the Buru ways. And Ilaoi is god. Deemed Gangplank worthy, so they let him go and live on, do his thing.
So Ilawi is, as the head priestess of the... Oh my god. As the head priestess of the Brewers, she is, obviously very religious, and she basically does everything her god Nagagaburos tells her to do. And that, from time to time, leads to some not so great outcomes, as we will see. And a whole big plot point for her is, like, she's starting to question her faith more and more over the course of the game. That will obviously come to a head near the end of the story. So here we are going to use... Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, this is a detour that we do with the ethereal lens. It's just to reveal this one chest that gives us a Feather Knight talisman. The tooltip says that it sells for, I think, 4 black marks, but for whatever reason the game doesn't know math and it actually gives us 8 or something. And it's a common theme when it comes to these black mark items.
Yeah, I think the black marks always give you like double the amount that they quote unquote should according to the texts, which
It's very
is
inconsistent.
yeah, it's kind of interesting, for sure. Making sure that Yasuo has his sword back on.
Oh, very good. I think in my story PB I forget to give Yasuo the sword, and that's why I really struggle on the fish.
Wait. I want to sell. No, I don't need a tutorial on how to sell stuff, game. Thank you very much. I have enough money. I am going to buy there. 3 moderate lustrous potions, and those will basically allow us to break the game a little bit. Oh. You can't get me.
So the reason we sell everything in that shop is because here we transition into a new area, which means that the buyback menu is going to be empty here. And we're gonna do some cheating.
Basically.
So what's going on here is we had 3 of those potions, but now there's 10 of them.
Hate this bug. So there's a little animation glitch there where, well, you saw it, like this animation just plays out and it takes a while for it to resolve. So just reloading the scene generally gets rid of that, but it would take like a little bit every time for me to get back into that, so I don't want that.
But yeah, what we're doing here is we are constantly doubling our potions here. By doing quick inputs, we can sell double the stacks of... Hold on. So we had 3 potions at the start. We sell 2 of them, but we sell them twice. Which means we sell 4 of them. Then we buy back those 4. Again? Wait, does this happen with the shop every time?
Not really. Normally it happens once and then you get rid of it and that stays that way. Well, I guess the game is a bit trolling me right now.
But yeah, as someone in chat is pointing out, this is apparently Polymer's
Yeah,
glitch
so
tech.
it was pretty funny because Palmer actually, you know, when he started routing this game and looking for glitches and whatnot, he found a glitch that was working kinda similar to that. But what you would do is you would take 2 items. One item that was worth a lot, that you only had like once in your inventory, or the quantity didn't really matter, and then another item that you had a large quantity of. And what you basically did was you were trying to sell the item that was worth a lot of money, but before you actually sold that item, you would switch it to the item that was worth less. That was how we did this in the beginning. But apparently the developers didn't really like that, so they patched that out. But on the day that that patch rolled out, Palmer immediately found this other glitch that we're doing right now, where we are quote-unquote it is even easier because I don't even have to switch out the item. I just... The only thing that I'm doing, really, the only thing that means I can sell a maximum of 233, so I have to be at least 1 beneath the maximum, and then I just double tap sell and I sell double the amount, or you know, buy them. And that's really all there is to it. There is no trick. You just double tap the button and that is how you you know, duplicate stuff. It's that easy.
And unfortunately the devs thought that this was also not fun and very bad for the game, so this was patched out as well.
Well, it was patched out on PC, it wasn't patched out on console, and for some reason this animation bug is persisting, so I'm just gonna go back here to try and reset this because it's really annoying.
Okay, so basically what you need to know is we sell more than we have, and the game kind of just accepts it, and then we buy it all back for the reduced price from the buyback menu. And this way we can keep making more and more money.
And this is also the thing, well, one of the reasons why the console runs are so much slower than the PC runs, because as you can see, the only way that I have when I'm playing on console to increase the amount that I'm selling or buying is to use my right stick to increase the number of the item, whereas on a PC you can just, you know, use a numpad or whatever to put in the number in the quantity window down in the right, and that's it. So it's lightning fast on PC and it is god awfully slow on console. So we will be here. We will be here for a couple of minutes.
Yep.
Because we need about 450,000 gold or so. Right about.
Something along those lines.
And it takes a while to get there with all that scrolling that we have to do. I had audio issues. Oh no! I'm sorry about that. I hope it's better again. Oh, okay. What was the last thing you heard, or what did you guys need us to explain again?
It was basically the 2 glitches.
Oh, the 2 glitches. Okay. So Palmer basically found both of them. The first glitch, what we're doing instead of the method that we're doing here is you would have 2 items. You would have one item that was worth a lot, and you would have another item that was basically worthless. Other way around. You would have one item that was worth a lot, but you only had one of that item. And then you would have another item that was worth basically nothing, but that you have a large quantity of. And what you would do is you were trying to sell the item that was worth a lot, but before you confirmed the selling, you would switch them around. So you were actually getting the money for the higher priced item, but for the quantity of the item that was worth a lot less. So you would get, you know, a lot of money out of that. And that is obviously slow. Oh, let me just concentrate here. All right, it's not slow, but the developers didn't really like that, so they patched that method out. So we weren't able to do that anymore. So obviously we were heartbroken, but thankfully Palmer once again came in and found another method, which is the method that we're doing right here now, which is even easier. Because what we're doing here is we're basically getting to the maximum amount of basically any item that is stackable, like, you know, like potions, food, or whatever. And we are trying to go one under the maximum amount of the item that we have. For example, I have 998 of this potion right now. That tells me I can sell a maximum of 997. And when I'm ready to sell, I simply double tap the sell button, in this case X. That is really all that there is to it. I just quickly double tap the sell button and then I sell twice the amount that I was actually going to sell. And that is how we're basically duplicating this flask over and over to make a shit ton of money. And we need about 450-ish thousand gold before we're able to continue to be able to get, you know, go through all of the shopping that we need for the run. So we're nearly there. I think 2 more. We should be good. So yeah, again, it's a very slow process on console. It goes by so much faster on PC. But hey, it is what it is, right?
I timed at some point how much you lose here versus me, and it was...
It's minutes.
It was a... yeah.
Although the fun thing is, like, every controller that I have from a PlayStation 5 has like stick drift on the right stick, so this makes it really interesting to do this because you have to use the right stick to increase or decrease the quantity, and sometimes you can just see the thing totally bugging out, and, you know, just before I'm trying to sell something, going up or down, which can be, well, catastrophic in the worst case scenario.
Okay, let's see. So in my old route, from killing Zatal to exiting this screen, it takes me 5 minutes 21 seconds. And I feel like that's how much it, or how long it takes for you to get to a max stack.
Maybe not quite as bad, but yeah.
But yeah, when I came back to this game at some point, after the patch happened on PC where you can't do the dupe glitch anymore, I did end up rerouting the whole thing without this, and it is possible. I did end up beating my old record, which was really nice, and it's actually kind of interesting. You really need to calculate out your money and what chests you pick up, and you actually have to grab all the lore scrolls that you've seen here and there, so you can get access to runes, which are really expensive. That's where most of our money is going to in this one.
Basically, yeah.
Yeah, the run is much more unforgiving, I guess, because we are not going to be as overpowered because we don't have the endless amount of money.
I think the interesting part is really that we're not actually going to use a lot of that money to buy equipment. I mean, we're going to use some of the money to buy equipment for sure, but a lot of it is actually going into the skill books that you alluded to, which we see in a couple of minutes here as well. And I think I'm actually good on money. 450,000 is about as much as I said. That's maybe...
That's good. Do you have any potions left over?
I do have a couple left over, yeah. I'm just thinking, should I make sure that we really have
450 is
enough?
definitely enough.
Yeah, let's just do like a 200 stack just to be absolutely sure this works. You don't want to, screw this up in a marathon setting. Absolutely not.
I see.
It's probably already just enough, but just to be on the side of caution here.
Are there many glitches in the run? We're doing one right now.
Okay.
Called the dupe glitch. We are duplicating items to get money. Are you sure you don't want any extra potions for the run?
No, it should be fine.
Okay.
It's story difficulty. What could go wrong?
Yeah, well, what could possibly go wrong?
Famous last words.
There is a potion vendor down, along the way if you need to buy some more. Bounty board? Yeah, okay, you remembered. Good.
Yep.
Good. Aside from that one, I guess there's one more glitch that we use. I don't know if it's classified as a glitch and more as an exploit.
Yes, I mean, it's kind of intended game mechanics that we just take to an absolute extreme, and that kind of breaks the game in a way.
There are more glitches to this game that you can find in my updated heroic route. But yeah, this is why we need the black marks. It is to get this lighthouse key. And this was not in the original story route, but in my casual playthrough I ended up getting the lighthouse key and unlocking the lighthouse very early. And it gave a very nice power boost, and I really wanted to route it in, and turns out it's very good.
So everybody keep in mind we are level 8, level 9-ish at the moment. So obviously we should only have access to level 8, level 9 equipment. So let me just take a save here. Let's see. Blue.
So anytime you open chests, there is a chance for the equipment, or I guess the potions as well, that you get from it to upgrade to a higher rarity. These accessories that we get from this chest are always going to be rare, but I guess Ash wants some epic rarity ones. The epic ones do give a lot more stats, which especially in this point of the game does make a big difference.
It's mostly for the XP grind actually, to make absolutely sure it goes well.
Alright, sure.
And again, you probably wouldn't do that like in an actual run, but since it's a marathon and I want to have a little bit more of a safety cushion here, I'm just trying to go for the epic versions. Which is kind of funny because in the practice run I did, of course, the first time I opened this chest, I got everything in epic thing.
Of course.
Because I went to silver bullet, good enough.
Yeah, the bullet one, or the bullet does give more just flat damage than the ring, so getting that one upgraded is...
But yeah, look at like this, you know, the ring alone gives Yasuo another 92 attack power, and then we get a silver bullet like 200. So he has like nearly 800 attack power, whereas the other two have like, you know, a quarter of that, which is just ridiculous.
Very balanced.
Absolutely. Absolutely not.
I can give the protector's pin, nice.
And then we do... Wait. Well, they're gonna just say that the music in this game is just absolutely fantastic.
Yeah, I really like the Bilgewater theme. It's very, very cool. But yeah, if we didn't end up going for the Ethereal Lens side quest, we would have had to kill the Angular Trickster, which I brought up a bit earlier, which is a sort of tricky fight at this point in the game. I believe the enemy is level... Well, I could be lying.
Yeah, I think 12 or 13, something wrong on that line.
Very annoying.
It's like basically a side quest that you can do down at the harbor. And if you had been fighting, you know, every single enemy up to this point, obviously it would be a higher level and would be more in the range. But, you know, since this is a speedrun, we basically skip all the normal encounters. We are obviously of a lower level, and so not really in the shape to take that fight head on. Because even on story difficulty, that Angular Trickster can more or less one-shot Yasuo, which is obviously bad because he is all of our damage. So we're back in this little warehouse where I was earlier to grab that sword that Yasuo still has, if you remember. And now we're actually gonna go ahead and finish the side quest. By finding a little smuggling operation that is going on down here. Oh, this dialogue is just great.
Uh-oh, we're surrounded.
Whatever are we gonna do?
Good luck. Have fun.
Also, here we can see that Yasuo's HP is kinda high. The troll ring and the bullet, they have a lot of stamina on them.
He is the tank now.
The goddess blesses us. Down. Fight.
Knock him down.
So don't forget the key. With me ever forgetting to pick up that key.
Brom was he was on his little boat, just sailing about, and he kinda ran aground or something. No, right. The mist crept in, and some creatures attacked his boat, and he kinda sunk. Then he ended up in Bilgewater Harbor. And Yasuo, he is here as a bodyguard for a Bastayan. I think we know Ari's name already. It's Ari.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they have her as question marks, so you don't see the name yet, but I mean, come on.
Surely they go by first name basis.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure they do, because later on, when they meet up again, Yasuo says Ari.
Motion is all.
Surely. Yeah, that's the basic story. We're gonna learn later why Braum actually is here, but for now we just found him drowned and fished up a very big fish somehow. Ari is in Bilgewater because she was looking for some old relic related to her ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
And she could not find it in Bilgewater, so she tried to track it down. She's currently out of the picture.
Kind of unfortunate that the ultimate wasn't full yet.
The end is here.
So I had to wait one more turn before Yasuo could use it.
You will stagnate no longer.
It is definitely an interesting bunch of characters that they decided to use for this game, but they do kinda work together once you start getting through the story. Maybe it's a bit ham-fisted at times, but it works. I like it.
I mean, it's definitely an alliance between the main characters that arises out of need of the situation and not necessarily out of friendliness to each other. I think like Ari and Yasuo might be the friendliest one to each other, or maybe Braum and Ilawi, but the rest of them are, it's more of an uneasy alliance, I want to say, with most of them.
But yeah, that was Chester and Beryl, and they are the, I guess, husband and wife running this smuggling business. And now that we kind of figured out that what they're doing and kicked their asses, we made a deal, and now they are going to offer their goods to us.
Yeah, so basically all I did here, oh my god, was a side quest. None of this is critical to the main path, but the side quest is absolutely worth doing with what they are going to offer us. If you have money, yes, if you have money. But thankfully, we still have access to that duplicate that I did, so we do have money.
It must be nice.
It is. It is. Absolutely.
It's so rough doing things without the money. It was so bad.
Imagine being poor.
Yeah, just have money.
Huh?
Wait.
Why are they not selling the guns?
Or the books. Wait, what? Wait, do you need to talk to them again? Hold on. I'm looking at my notes.
Wait, was it because I didn't talk to the guy upstairs?
Oh, right. Yeah, you need to say to him. Yeah, it's fixed now.
Alright, kind of forgot about that, didn't I? Okay, let's try this again. Try this again.
There we go. Now we get big money, 300.
Ooh. There we go. Okay. Saved.
So the way this shop works is they usually have some equipment that is higher level than what we currently are, so you can't get this stuff in other shops. And they also have access to these rune books.
And that is basically the reason why we do this whole thing, to get these rune books, and then with the glitch, basically the same glitch that we used to duplicate the potions earlier to sell them for money. I have now, bought more skill books than the game would normally allow me to, and that is another thing that kinda, starts trickling down and breaking the game just a tad.
Power balance goes out of the window.
Basically.
So yeah, they have, I think it's 5 books per character anytime you visit them, and the shop refreshes anytime you do like a big story development.
Which is also weird, because I'm pretty sure the shop is actually not supposed to do that, but for some reason it just does. I mean, I have no proof for it, it just feels to me like they shouldn't restock
Some
those
other
books.
shops do the same.
Oh my god.
Like the Baron's ring that you can buy in the black market, that one refreshes.
Yeah, which is also really weird. I don't know. I feel
Very
like these
nice,
items
but
should be
weird.
unique, but who am I to judge?
Yeah. But getting only 5 of the rune books would be kind of weird.
I mean, pick and choose which skills you want. All right.
You know, you're not wrong.
Not every RPG or game that has a skill tree allows you to grab every skill in the skill tree. It's a balancing act.
I suppose technically you can get infinite amount of runes by getting black marks and buying them.
I mean, that's true. That is true. But it would just take a long time to do that with fishing.
That's what I do. Without the dupe.
So yeah, there is actually a fishing mini game in this game, if you didn't know. You will not see it during my speedrun, but I guess if you watch Xazu here, we'll do a lot of it.
Well, I did unfortunately route it out, but
Right.
it was in my previous heroic world
Right,
record. I did play the fishing minigame to get black marks because I'm a bit poor.
Poor Xazu. So as you can probably tell, there are like pros and cons for running this on PC and or on console. But yeah, I don't think like console will ever be competitive enough for PC speedruns when it comes to the world records and the categories.
Now that
We can. I've
And
got
for
plenty
anyone
of-
saying just
We'll be-
downpatch the game,
We'll ship.
I tried. It doesn't work. The game just black screens when you try to downpatch. Maybe I did something wrong, it's possible. It wouldn't be the first time I messed something up, but yeah.
I mean, let's be real here. This game is basically held together by spaghetti and hopes and prayers when it comes to its code base.
Yep.
And I say this
Yeah,
very
now we got
lovingly, just to be sure.
Misfortune's back.
Hey, we finally have an our group.
I forget, does she have a big role in the story difficulty route?
No.
Oh wait, yes she does, kinda.
I mean, depending on how you
Does she have
count
any
that.
role now?
Yeah. But also the thing
is it
is,
just
with
Yasuo?
every character that joins, they are kind of mandatorily put into your group for at least the next dungeon. For example, at the moment, I cannot get rid of Misfortune in my party. Like, I have to have her in my party for at least the next dungeon before I can swap her out again. Which kind of, you know, works for the speedrun. Because she's definitely better than Ilawi, because she actually deals damage.
And new characters do come, or they join the party at a higher level as well, so it's nice.
Yeah, it's a bit early.
Oh man, this
Guns blazing.
kind of feels nostalgic looking at this run because these are some really ancient things that are going on. I'm not gonna talk too much about what Ace is doing, because I might just mess things up and be like, "What are you doing? That's not how you're supposed to do that."
Yeah, that's like the thing, right? Like, again, there is quite a few differences between running this on PC and running this on console, but then again, we're also, like, at this point, I want to say, running, like, different categories. I'm doing story difficulty, you're doing heroic. So a lot of that stuff doesn't necessarily translate, which also makes it, like, really hard to have, like, you know, a single route, I want to say. Because you will have to change the routing depending which category you are running on which console or which system. It can be a little bit confusing when you want to start out speedrunning this game.
But here we learn about MF's, I guess, dungeon ability, where she can scan the area and see clues.
Oh, did I not bring the other plank?
You can get the one on the
Guess I just forgot. Alright. Taking a little detour. I normally should have just brought the first plank that you use, but I guess I can just kind of forgot about it.
happens. So right now, I think MF learned that... Yes, MF did learn that Gangplank is alive, and she was furious, and she just told us to leave her mission. And now she's joined us, and she thinks that we can help her take him back to justice or something. But first, we need a crew to sail the boat that she has. Because we need to get to the Shadow Isles, where apparently Gangplank has gone.
Also, let's not forget to do this.
Here we're just putting on the equipment that we bought in the smuggling shop, or the bookstore as I like to call it, because that's what it is.
Basically.
Giving MF all her skill points here. Basically making sure that she can attack both 2 targets and single target. And the runes!
Oh
We have
my
so
god,
many.
he is 1 experience point short. Are you kidding me?
Ah, that's a classic. He'll be fine.
Oh my
That's classic.
lord. I've
I don't know
honestly
why it
never
happens.
had this happen before until this run and the practice I did for it.
Well, you know, you didn't kill the fish, so you are missing a bit of XP.
Probably. That's probably it. Oh my god.
Being 1 XP short of a level it's the dumbest thing that happens surprisingly often.
Sure is. Oh my lord. Maybe I should just kill the fish from now on again.
You're
Here's-
gonna get a level for the boss.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's not a big deal. It just screws up my menuing a little bit.
It's annoying, that's for sure.
But it's also the thing, right? Like, we're not exactly sure yet if getting the ethereal lens and the marks through the chest is really faster than just fighting the anglerfish on story difficulty, at least. Because the fight isn't that bad. It's annoying, but it's winnable.
But if it goes bad, it goes... Because if you're going for world record, I think you just fight the fish. But if you want consistency, you probably want to get the ethereal lens.
Then I guess on heroic, it's a completely different beast altogether.
Yeah, you don't want to
Literally.
go close to the angler. That thing is... Oh boy.
It'll just eat you alive.
Yep. But here we're going after 2 of MF's top crewmen. Isabel was the first one. I think she was the cannoneer, and we could see it in some of the traps that were cannon based. She was hiding in that warehouse, and now
Going after Graham, the
Graham,
navigator.
That's his name. He's been kidnapped by the Jagged Hooks, who were Gangplank's old crew. Now we're going to go get him. And this is also when we unlock the gondolas, which is basically the fast travel system of Bilgewater. And MF is in our party, so she kind of gives us the authority to use them.
Yeah, exactly.
Now, I'm not entirely sure what Jet's role in this game is. He's kind of just a chump. I guess he's the leader of the Jagged Hooks while Gangplank is gone or
I would say so,
something.
yeah.
But even in the upcoming boss fight, that usually in your live split it's going to be called Jet. He's the biggest enemy in the group.
Ram is on the job.
Getting absolutely body blocked here. Well, at least the fleas are working pretty well.
That's always good. This warehouse is one of the
Oh.
more irritating places again. You tend to just bump into some of these groups because they are so tightly placed. All over the place. Not getting hit by the cannons? Wow. If that was me, I would have eaten 3.
Maybe you shouldn't go as fast then. Also, this guy. Guess he's just there for the lulz? I have no idea.
He was gonna ambush us. Actually, what is his deal? What was he expecting? He was like doing a prank on some of his friends.
No idea.
Actually, that might be it. He's there waiting for the cannon guy. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna scare him.
Maybe.
We meet Corwin. He's a very cool guy.
Oh, thank you. Wasn't in my way for once.
This room can also be an absolute pain if you get unlucky. The cannoneer to the left is kind of...
Oh, come on. Ugh.
Oh, okay.
So many fools.
There's the
Sniper's
little
also very
blowback from being hit from the sniper there. Don't catch up to me. There we go. Gonna take a rest here just to be safe.
So I guess Brom's gonna be a little squishier than usual, but it shouldn't really make much of a difference.
I mean, like, Yasuo is still like the most important character at the moment.
Yeah.
Braum is just kinda there.
He's there to taunt and jump.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah, here's the jet.
A fight?
And as you can see, he has a lot of HP. The real boss here is the sniper captain.
Feeling better already.
The sniper captain has an annoying attack where she shoots one of our guys and applies taunt to one of her allies. And while that taunted ally is alive, the captain takes less damage.
Next time, stay.
Very close fight. Good job.
Nearly lost that one.
So now we got Graham, we have Isabel as well, and we're ready to set off. Get on our boat.
So now we can actually make our way over to the Shadow Isles.
Ooh.
Before we do that, I have to fix Braum's runes.
You're on top of these menus, man.
Oh, it's a speedrun. Gotta go fast. Oh
I
my
would have just
God.
forgotten about the menus, to be honest. Did you test the cutscene skipping here?
Oh, I actually did not know.
Okay. So on PC, for this next section, when you get on the ship or start the cutscenes, you can actually load the autosave that happens before. And by loading that save, you can go on the ship again and just skip the cutscenes.
Oh.
I don't know if it's possible on console. Because I believe you can't open the menu while in a cutscene.
Well, I guess we're about to find out.
Because on PC you would have to press
wait.
tab, and that is the only way you can open.
So when does it? Once the cutscene start on the ship?
It's already started, so now is when you could open the menu.
Yep. Nope. I can't open it.
My theory is that you could probably close the game, do hard reset and reload the autosave, but I don't know if
people
that's
listen
just fine
and
versus the mashing here.
Maybe. But again,
Something for another day.
spaghetti in hopes and prayers. So
Yeah.
even while we are breaking the game in half, kinda, don't want to overdo it too much as well.
Hey, we get lore. We get
Ooh.
cool music. We get Yasuo playing a flute.
But they just can't get over the fact that the shadows are kind of misaligned for the characters here, so it kind of looks like they're floating.
A haunting melody.
Like, I don't know. It's really bugging me once you notice it.
A lot. We don't know. Sometimes. Right.
I swore.
Or you fear. I don't care. But
So here we have some bonding
enjoy
between the
yourself.
characters. Or more like just mocking on MF's side. Bullying poor Yasuo. And here's the OTP of the game.
In Buruk. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, Braum is a bit seasick. Yes, you heard in the background.
Rome is so great in
Yes,
this game.
that's
I
what
love him.
Jesus.
I know he.
But get.
Sarah, I must.
I try.
I.
What the?
Well, in the meantime, we got our next boss fight.
So all of that you could have skipped
Brace for
and
impact.
started from here.
Just go straight for the boss fight.
You can also do it if you lose to the boss. So that's how I found out. Apparently the community just knew about it. And I just didn't know. I thought I made a great discovery.
I actually didn't know about it.
Okay, here's Deep Lurker. This thing has a passive where anytime you hit it, it gets 5% more attack power, which is scary. At least on heroic.
Back to it.
Story difficulty,
Not so much.
pretty much just set up crit with Yasuo, so everyone has 60% extra crit. Yasuo himself gets 75%, which means I'm pretty sure he does crits always here. And while Brock is tanking and pushing back the boss, he's just gonna die.
And there we go.
Very nice.
Now we got our next party member.
It's best boy Pykel.
I tested you.
When you played the game casually, who was your favorite character?
You brought.
party.
You've killed.
I think it was a toss-up between Yasuo and Misfortune, actually.
Oh, okay.
Like, I do remember I
I
had both
ditched
of
them.
them in my party, basically at all times, and the third slot was a bit rotating, but I think I had Braum in there.
I think the way I did it was I cycled my DPS character and had Ilawi and Braum both for a long time.
And
And then
nah.
at some point I think I ditched Ilaoi for a better healer.
Oh, I think it's actually not true. I think I went with Yasuo. Speaking of, wait, right, this way.
That's the party.
I think I actually had Yasuo, Misfortune, and Pike.
Wait, you're getting Brock again? Is this ancient route again?
I guess so. Who are you bringing?
MF, I just go triple DPS.
Ah. Well, I guess it also works.
But yeah, for my casual playthrough, my main DPS was Pike because I thought Pike was just funny. How he just does a million dots and he just crits on everything because the enemies have dots and then his dots can crit and the dots can heal him and very funny and kind of ridiculous very late.
I think I just really like the Shredder move on Misfortune. So I tended to use that a lot.
I think one of the reasons I wasn't the biggest fan of MF was with how... Well, I did like Shredder, but because it's a spread move, it wouldn't always hit the target I wanted. Even though on a boss, you're always going to be a single target most of the time. So it doesn't really matter. Going for some more book shopping, getting runes for Pike, Yasuo, and Braum, who are the relevant party members at this moment. Wait, did you get MF as well? I didn't.
No. Not at this one because she basically has like one more use in the speedrun, which, you know, is a kind of important use, but not enough that you would need more books for her. You're like fast approaching like the make or break point of the run, I want to say. Like if you get that wrong, there's just no recovering from it, and if you have to try for it again, it just loses a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I hate it.
I'm looking at my ancient notes, and it does say swap out MF for Braum.
There you go.
So,
ancient notes, he says. Can't believe it.
To scavenge the archives. But here we are on the Shadow Isles. It's a very spooky place.
But to be fair, I think I have to take another look at your runs and see if I can update anything there to maybe make this go by a little bit faster. Because I haven't done that in a while.
Can you skip the gate encounter?
Not that I know now.
You wanna skip it?
Oh my god.
I think we should skip it. We should
I mean, the gate encounter is not that bad. Like, it's annoying for sure. But I've looked at least, you know, partially at the setup you're doing for it, and it's like, ew.
Yeah, fair. I'm curious how you play it.
Wait, did I open the other chest? Fuck.
Yes.
Because it's closed.
Oh, this bug is still in this. Okay, so there is a bug where if you open a chest around the same time an enemy encounters you, the chest resets and you can't get it again.
That's probably... Oh no, there we go. Kinda want that weapon for Pike, not gonna lie.
I think the first one was epic.
Was it?
I think. I'm colorblind, so...
Nope. It wasn't. But yeah, we had already gotten it. But yeah, like we said before, like, the game has definitely some interesting glitches and whatnot going on. Like, unintentionally duplicating the contents of a chest.
Magic. Magic. Some I can time. If you
But yeah, like we said before, Pike at the moment is required to be in the party, and we need him to navigate parts of this dungeon, because we basically have to dive in through these passages in order to open up the way for the rest of the party.
I have been wondering what those like book-looking things are supposed to be.
My
There's some hacker man stuff going on there.
Well, basically the Matrix.
This was a very high-tech society back in the day.
And then the Ruin King ruined it, as was his namesake.
No.
How dare he?
So until, I guess, the latest update, you could flee from this encounter, which you did. And now you just can't.
Death is like the
Reason.
wind, always by my
I found a workaround. I thought of the dumbest workaround and it worked, which is kind of funny. It keeps happening for this game. Anytime I have a stupid idea, it just works. Which I kind of love and hate at the same time.
Yeah, it's definitely a kind of a special relationship you start having with this game.
So basically the way you can skip this encounter now is you bring your own random encounter to the gate that you encounter at the same time as you open the gate. And since you can flee from that normal encounter that you brought, and the gate is opening, when you flee from the encounter, the gate is open. And there is no extra encounter coming from the gate. I don't know why it works, it just works.
And we don't question it. We just take it and run. Or, you know, we could just fight that one multi-wave battle and be done with it. I think I
I was about to say, have you
Just-
menued for Pike? Or do you even need the menu here for Pike yet?
no. I mean, I put on, you know, the equipment for him, but that is about
Alright,
all
sure.
that you need for him. But yeah, these
There's
sections
another-
can be a little bit hard with Pike because, well, you know, you have only Pike and he's not exactly the tankiest boy.
In this section there's another gate that we need to open up, and this body had a ring that we need to activate one of those switches.
back to the list.
And we cut off the guy's ring and he wasn't happy, and then we had to kill him again.
Also, friendly hello to Argeek in chat. Welcome, everybody. Hope you're doing well.
I'm gonna turn off my humidifier because it is getting very humid.
I mean, that's kind of what that thing is made for, isn't it?
True!
Hey, technology doing its job. Just like whatever this thing is that I'm operating to open the path. But I bet your humidifier isn't looking as fancy as this thing. But if it was looking as fancy as this thing, I would have questions. Just to be fair.
And I believe this is the last dive we have to do with Pike in the whole game.
Unless you do side content, yes.
Yeah.
So again, it was very important that we have him. It's like it kind of feels like all the male characters in the party are a bit superfluous when it comes to the story, I feel.
Actually, a good point.
Like the most important ones are obviously Ilawi and Misfortune, and I guess Ari in a way, even though with her it's already starting to be a little bit questionable. Oh my god.
But even for MF, she's only really important like gameplay-wise in the early game.
Yeah.
And she's never used again.
I mean, yeah, but like story-wise,
Yeah, story-wise,
like
for sure.
Ilawi and Misfortune are definitely like the main characters. And
They are the two
then,
that are actually in the Bilgewater setting.
oh my god.
I do like to joke about how Ruined King is a horror game with how you have to dodge all these enemies and sometimes they just ambush you out of nowhere.
I mean, do you see how dark the game it is and how dark its themes are and how serious everybody is? Of course it's a horror game. The hell?
Pokemon is also a horror game.
What?
When you get random encounters or get hit by spinners. If you know, you know.
Well, I don't, and I don't think I want to.
Here the game teaches us about brush and how you can just go into them to break line of sight and kind of become invisible. Today,
So
randomly,
it's not only a horror game, it's also a stealth game. So this fits in with Metal Gear Solid, I guess.
so today when I was doing some testing, I randomly somehow
This close.
was able to
working
keep the stealth
Oh yeah, you posted that
ability.
screenshot.
from exiting brush. And I don't know how it happened, I wasn't able to replicate it, but it was the first time I saw it.
Ah.
And enemies just ignored me, it was great.
God, I might be screwed here because I probably can't run away from this fight.
Death is like the wind,
Oh, please.
always by my side.
Oh my god, it still works.
Monstrous.
Let's go. Because yeah, there's a bug in this game, at least we think it's a bug, but we have no idea how or when it really happens, where the game just randomly decides it won't let you run away from encounters anymore. And it's
Don't
usually
worry,
around here
I'll
that
make
it
this
starts
quick.
happening. Ah, there we go. Oh, I guess
The timing.
I guess we're doing this fight now. I mean, I guess
The
I
last
could
auto save is really
just,
far, so you might as well.
yeah, I was gonna say, just go for the quick save. But I guess that means I probably have to go ahead and grab these chests again, but I don't think it saves that. Ugh. But yeah, it's really annoying. Oops.
Open the map real quick.
Oh
to
no,
see
no,
if-
okay, I got this chest, but I didn't get the other one. Okay, that's good. I can work with that.
Okay, that's nice. So, when I encountered the flea bug, as I called it, around this part, I was sent all the way back to before the executioners.
Oh my god.
And it was so weird. So,
Alright. Menuing, wait. Let's try.
at this point in the game, we're still using Yasuo as our main DPS. Pike is kind of just there to supplement our damage. But Pike and Yasuo are going to be our main two core DPS for the rest of the game. They do have some nice synergy, as both scale with crit very nicely, and Yasuo can just give infinite crit effectively. And while MF may not be in the party, she's going to be used in a little bit. Very briefly, but she does have a role to play.
Mm-hmm. So going up to our next boss, or not boss, or we want to look at it, which is a Maokai, big tree avatar. Cut him down to size a bit.
Maokai has one main spell that he can do that we kind of need to play around. He can set up roots, which reduces damage taken by 80%, and he has 2 stacks of them. One is for speed attacks and one is for power attacks. You need to break both of them if you want to do regular attacks. Roots. Now we're going to speed attack and
Perhaps a story while we wait. To the deep.
other than that, isn't that big of a deal.
Well, I was a little bit slow because I think he really rarely does the roots for me. Got the root. And now we got our last party member.
The timing for when he sets up the roots is inconsistent, which makes the fight a little tricky. Because you kinda want to just set up for your kill combo ASAP, but if he delays the setup of his roots, then your break combo kinda gets broken up as well, so you don't get the
That is,
damage reduction
if you
removed before you do your big hits.
Yes, if I learn about my
Disrupts
all
everything.
right.
But yeah, Ari was here all along.
Yes. So yeah, again, because Ari now joined, she is forced into our party, so I can't get rid of her at the moment. Which actually serves us quite right, because we do want her in our party for what is coming next. But before we do that, once again take another trip back to Bilgewater
Shot.
to buy more books, because they are that good. And yes, even though this takes quite a while to get back there, just the increase in power you get out of these books is well worth it. But I think I actually timed it at one point, and all of these trips take me at least a minute longer than yours. Simply because of all the loading screens I have to get through. So it adds up quite a bit. Because I think we do about 5 of these.
Let's see. Book trip 3 is what I call this one. There's a shopping trip and a book trip 4. So 4 trips total.
Okay, 4. So yeah, no, that's like around about already 4 minutes lost, plus the time lost on the duplication for the potions, and then all the other loading screens, and you're very easily at about 10 minutes, if not more, of time loss. Just because of the version difference. We are going to buy for Pike, Ari, Yasuo. And then we are setting up for the single worst thing we have to do in this run.
But also the most fun, depending on the way you look at it. It's
No.
the most interesting part, in my opinion.
I mean, yeah, it is, but it's also just ugh. So I'm gonna
If it
give
goes
this
bad, it goes bad.
one proper shot, and if it doesn't work, I'm probably just gonna go ahead and load one of the safety saves that I set up before the run. Because this can lose a lot of time if it just goes south. And if I don't get it, well, the run is more or less dead. Let's see how it goes.
Let's hope it goes well.
Like, it was an absolute catastrophe when I did my practice for this. So, fingers crossed. Because I'm actually going to a side area now. This is absolutely not required for the main story. Like a purely side quest area. So I'm actually just gonna go ahead and make a save here. Can just save over that, doesn't need that. Alright, here goes.
So this is the graveyard. The idea here is that we are going to pick up all these graveyard statue pieces. I believe there's six total?
Yeah.
They're scattered around the area, and as we go, we're also going to keep kiting the enemies that are around the place. With good luck, we can get them all with us. There's a lot of enemies here, which is good, but also very annoying and difficult at times because it's a lot to juggle.
You got a name, I got a bullet.
And there we go.
Oh, great, nice.
Okay, I'm just gonna try something in here real quick. I will close the game completely and open it back up, because sometimes what happens, the game, I'm not sure if it's really a memory leak or not. I always say it is, even though I'm not completely sure, but for some reason, and we touched upon that really quickly before, the game just doesn't let you flee from encounters anymore. And that can be very bad with what we're trying to do here, because I need all of these enemies gathered up, but at a very specific point that I wasn't at just yet. So because I wasn't able to get out of that fight, yeah, I just had to basically reset there, because I am not allowed to fight these guys yet, but fighting them would be the only way for me to get out of that scenario. So, yeah, unlucky.
So yeah, this is the graveyard.
Oh. I think I'm actually just gonna go ahead and do this in stages.
Okay.
Oh god. Just to try and make it a bit more consistent. Oh, I say consistent, but yeah. Now this will make it take a little bit longer, but it's quote-unquote safer-ish. As if anything in this game is ever safe. But it's kind of apt, you know, that the run literally goes to a graveyard to potentially die. Ah, God, I hate
So
this.
one more piece that we need to go and get.
Guys, so much. Oh my god. Ugh. You know what? I think I can make this. Shouldn't have said it.
This thing's
Can I run? Can I run? Oh, I can. Nice.
Resetting the game does clear the flea bug. Is what happens in my experience. Hasn't failed me so far.
Okay, just gonna go grab that treasure chest down there. Again, I'm gonna make it one more save, and then we get to the main part of the... the main part of this whole thing. So what we're trying to do here is, as Xazo already said, there are a lot of enemies in this area, and we are trying to gather all of them. And then we're trying to group them up to get into one single big fight. Because you've already seen this during the course of the run, that when you get multiple enemies together, they get like this little link chain on top, and that means that they are now linked in a fight. So if I touch any one of these enemies, I basically fight, you know, all of these in a row, which is called a multi-wave battle. And I tried to do that with all of the enemies in the graveyard. Just have to open this door and grab the guys down there as well. Ooh. Also have to make sure that I don't go too far away from these guys because they can de-aggro and that would be really bad. It's looking a bit sketch. Oh my god. Okay, well, let's see. Oh my god, you know what I forgot? I forgot to improve my equipment.
Just flee and do again.
Can I flee? Oh, I can. Oh, okay. Alright. I guess I will go all the way over here. Okay. Yeah, that's my bad. I completely forgot about that. Okay, so you get the midnight ring. And then you get the boot.
So the idea with this menu is we're making Ahri our main damage dealer just for this section, because she's our highest level character and she has a lot of nice attacks that are good for clearing weight. And we're going to make MF sort of a tanky character here, just to make sure she doesn't die. And yeah, in this fight MF is just going to be a support. Her main role is going to be to accelerate Ahri so she gets off as many attacks as possible, whereas Yasuo is there just to buff crit. And if everything goes well, all of these waves of enemies should just be melting very easily. And it is crucial that we kill all the enemies in each wave at the same time, because it gives us an increasing XP multiplier. And to finish this off, we're also going to give Ahri, or we're going to upgrade her weapon to epic, so the stats increase. Then need to make sure we get the runes as well.
Just gonna do one more save now. I've done everything, so if I need another try at this, I have it set up.
Runes?
I did do runes, yeah.
Okay, good.
It's now just how do I engage all of these guys when they are slowly coming back out, because I have to regather everybody. So make sure they're all there. Okay. The other one was just a little bit dumb of me that I forgot to
Where the hell did that cleric
do that menu.
Enemy AI is sometimes very strange and they just scatter, and that's why this section can get very annoying very quickly.
Okay, I think I have them all. Let's see.
I won't hold back if you don't.
Well, there's two guys in the first wave, so surely. The way this works is Ahri just does a lot of damage. She has a lot of base damage injected. And
Anyone else?
MF is going to accelerate her by using misdirection, which also buffs her attack, and things die. Ahri also has a rune that anytime she kills an enemy, it splashes damage onto every other enemy. And that thing can also crit. So things kind of just add on top of each other, and it is crucial that we do our best to kill every enemy at the same time, because getting triple kills is an extra XP multiplier.
Feels better. Waste of ammo. Just
And right now Ahri is so strong that she can just do her auto attack and these enemies. They are weakened slightly. And the splash damage will do the rest.
This is why
I think I saw the thing trading for 700. Yeah, 700. Which is
another one down.
$1K. Yeah, Ahri is very fun. Before I sort of revamped this section of the game, which is, let's say, the most crucial part of the speedrun. Once you get, or before you even start speedrunning this game, Graveyard was the thing that you really need to practice. But before I started using Ahri, the lineup here was Yasuo, Pike, and Rom, I believe. And the waves were usually just killed with Pike ultimate. Is a very good...
No, you have to have Ahri in your party at this point, so she has to be included.
But then that would mean... Oh. I don't think you had to have Ahri here. Either way, the lineup was different and the kills were done with Pike ultimate. And it was a bit more tricky because that thing does 10 hits, and since there's 3 enemies on the screen, you have to calculate how much damage you need to do exactly to kill everything, but here we just don't do it.
You always have my back.
Sorry, is very
Who
good.
needed that?
Hit like a hunt.
Even the assassin's shield here shouldn't do much. The hardest wave that's going to come up is the one with the Executioner. That thing has, I think it's over 1k health, and it can just one-shot someone if you get unlucky, even on story difficulty.
I'm waiting.
But if the wave is otherwise nice,
Back on my feet.
it's very doable. So you can just
Expecting a
damage
thank
all
you.
over the enemy team.
Ooh, that's gotta hurt.
That was close. So I'm not daring to use misdirection here because an F could kill the Wisp.
Good call. But you can see how fast these waves just melt when Ahri gets to kill one, and then the
Feeling
splash
better
damage
already.
just thirst.
Do you know
There's
how to
another
share?
component to the XP formula, which is overkills. And we
can
are
take.
overkilled by our warriors.
No
Oh, there's no
joy
execution.
in victory.
There.
Yeah.
Ah, okay. Ahri isn't the only one that didn't quite get it to 30, which...
We could continue with this, but if you have a backup save, you can just do it.
You know what,
That
I
was
guess we
very
can
good.
just go ahead and continue with this.
Considering you didn't get the Executioner, that's very nice.
So, yeah, we are kind of broken a little bit because as you saw, we were level 12, 14 when we started. Now we're level 30, which is the maximum level in the game. And, you know, because has already explained part of it, how this works. What's basically internally happening is every character always needs like 1000 HP to reach the next level. And the way this is balanced against enemies is that enemies only give you their full experience when you are the exact same level as them. If you are higher level than them, you get fewer XP, and if you are a lower level as them, you get more XP. And what we basically do is we chain so many fights together. The game doesn't expect you, first of all, to get that many fights into a multi-wave battle. And then with all the multipliers that we get from, you know, killing enemies at the same time, not using mana or whatever it is, we get so much experience in a single fight that gets applied to us at the same time at one level, that it just kind of overflows our experience to basically rocket shot us to the max level at that point. And that is how we abuse this. Again, that was a thing that Palmer found out while he was routing the game, so it's been around basically since we did our first runs of this. And it's kind of nice to this, because as you saw, another side effect of that is if you are quite a bit higher level than an enemy, they will just basically try and run away from you. So we don't even have to worry about getting into fights anymore at this point. I say anymore, we still have to worry about it a little bit because I can still run into them and the fight would still initiate, but they will now actively try and run away from me. So that makes it quite a bit easier to get through narrow passages and whatnot as it was before. than it was before. So yeah, that is also the reason why Ari is the only one that didn't get to level 30, because if you paid attention, she was level 14, whereas everybody else was level 12, so she didn't get quite as much experience out of that. I guess if I had chained the Executioner fight, like you said, into it, she would also be level 30, but I kind of didn't grab them, or was able to grab them. I also need to change my party over here. Choose party members, and we are taking Ari, Pike, Yasuo. There we go. And this will basically be our party for the rest of the game now. Also, I need to do some menuing.
Big menu. We have a lot of levels.
Yeah, we have a lot of points to spend at this point.
So from here onwards, Pike and Yasuo are going to be the two main damage dealers, but we also have Ari, who is a healer and a DPS, sort of a hybrid. Since we're on story difficulty, she won't be doing too much healing, but she is the best third option for just flat damage. Yasuo and Pike, as I said earlier, they synergize very well because both scale very well with crit. Yasuo can give 60% crit to Pike by spamming Eye of the Wind, and he can also set up bleeds when Yasuo himself crits. And Pike, he gets benefits from when enemies have bleeds and other dot effects on them. So it all just flows really well together. And at this point we are very overpowered. We have far outpaced the game, and we won't really be seeing any challenge until we reach the last boss. Which is still sort of challenging in my opinion.
I'm not quite sure how I should distribute Ari's runes at this point, so I'm just gonna leave it like it is. Okay. That should be it. See, I think this is like the first time that I've actually had Ari only be level, yeah, I say only, but be level 28 instead of max level, so it's a little bit off with her rune distribution and whatnot. It should still be fine because, again, we are way overpowered for this. We will definitely see that during the next boss fight, which is laughable. And it will only get worse from there, so to speak.
And since Ari is sort of forced for this section, there's a couple puzzles we need to do with her. She has this orb. I forget if they actually tell in story what the orb really is.
It's a glowing sphere.
It's like a soul orb thing. I don't even know. They've changed her lore so many times that I don't even know which.
Again,
version of
don't
Ari
look
this
at
is.
me. I don't know any League of Legends lore.
Let's see the puzzle.
One. It's frickin' worm.
This worm sucks.
Oh my god.
It keeps aggroing onto you even though it should be fleeing from you. It is obnoxious.
What?
My path lies beyond you.
Actually, what? I've never seen it actually start a fight.
My lord. The worst part is I just finished the puzzle, so because he drove me into a fight, the puzzle now didn't resolve. I think I have to go back and then it should work, right?
No clue.
I had this happen once and I've... God, I think the door should just be open now. Please, just be open. Okay, guess we're just doing this. Okay, there we go. Yeah, like I said, I hate this worm. This is just like, why? Just leave me be. I don't want to harm you. I just want to go through here. Can you please let me do this?
Renamed the split to Dodge Worm because that's what it really is.
Also, hey, the three big bands are finally assembled, I guess. We have Gangplank, we have Thresh, and the third boy in the moment here.
Sword. Very scary sword.
The veil.
Also, hey there, Alfina and High Spirits. Good to see you both. So I was kind of preoccupied with the menuing when you came in.
Since there was a cutscene there that we skipped, so another funny thing that I stumbled upon somewhat recently. So, when I originally came back to reroute both story and heroic, I noticed that I didn't get any cutscenes. I had no clue why. After a lot of time and having the same issue with another game later, I found out that if you have some specific settings on with your NVIDIA graphics card, I think it's VSync, if it's set to fast sync, it just makes it so cutscenes don't play for some reason. So the new runner that came in recently, I forget his
On the curve.
All the curve? Sure, let's go with that. He has an AMD graphics card and said he can't do the same thing. And I was started to think that, okay, maybe this should be banned then. Then I had the dumbest idea and thought, what if I just go into the game files and delete the cutscenes? And it works. So if you play this game on PC and want to speedrun, you should go to the game files and delete the cutscene video files. Or
I
just
mean,
move them elsewhere.
to be fair, I think that's like the dream of every single RPG speedrunner, right? Just to go in the folder, delete cutscenes, run the game.
But once again, one of these dumb ideas that shouldn't really work, and then they work.
Yeah, but it also like is really telling. You know, we say that this game is held together by spaghetti and hopes and prayers, and this just really goes to show what do we mean by that.
So with the loss of the dupe glitch, we found a lot of other dubious tech.
But yeah, you kind of got like a little taste of what fights are going to be like with the two enemies, or the two fights that I just did. But we are coming up at the next boss fight, and that is when you just really can't see how this is going to go from here on out. Also, you have to be a little bit careful with this golem down there, because in these, well, cutscenes, you know, like here, where everything is in-engine and the characters are standing around and talking and whatnot, the enemies do not disappear while this cutscene happens. You know, they're still walking around the field somewhere. And if it so happens that an enemy walks to where a character is forced to walk during a cutscene, they can get stuck on them, and then you're basically soft-locked because the character cannot resolve their cutscene action, which is fantastic. Love to see it.
I don't think I've had that happen before.
Really? Oh my god. Lucky you. So there are like two more very infamous spots where that can happen. In the Temple of Purification and the Vault of Asani, but you know, we'll get there when we get there.
I do not think that
I had the same thought as Pendle in chat. I thought the game would just crash, and it didn't.
Also, that was a boss fight.
Very cool.
Just FYI.
Well,
I think that fight just really illustrates how overpowered we are now.
Okay, so story-wise, so when we fought Maokai, he said that there's a bunch of corruption on the isle that was previously known as the Blessed Isles, and his roots are also being corrupted, and that shadow there was the source of it. So we went to deal with it. And now we're going back to Maokai and being like, yo, how's it feel?
Little
Time.
The Buru had
before, if you
imposter.
take the
It will be done.
Until we meet again.
So next up, I think he gives one of his seeds to us
Yeah.
to go. Yeah, a corrupted seed.
Because we have to get rid of these roots to be able to go to where the baddies are. But for that we have to first cleanse the corrupt seed, and we can't do that here.
We need to go to the Serpent Isles. So another one of Ilawi's funny Buru temples.
Oh.
I have done many runs where I just forget that you need to go
You're
to the
lucky to-
Serpent Isles and I just go to Bilgewater.
the fishman
That's
I mean-
why in Live Split I've made a split with all caps and it says Serpent Isles. So I don't forget.
If we can,
I mean, the first time you come here, it's literally just this cutscene where they tell you, oh yeah, we can't proceed. We have to go back to Bilgewater and request the aid of the Serpent Callers.
And that's exactly why you forget, because it's just a cutscene. Like, just go to the Serpent College right away, right? Nah.
Well, they don't know that yet.
True. What if they did, though?
Well, it'll serve you like, I don't know, 30 seconds.
So, here we go to the Buru Grotto. There's a very nice, or I think interesting side area here that we unfortunately don't visit in the speedrun.
My
We skip a lot of
you, I have this
side content because it's side
and I
content.
love before sheep. So
There is a
yes,
lot of
but
side
if
content.
I wish,
Oh, yeah.
so my
You have
Like, I think it's no exaggeration if we say we skip like half the game or half of the content that the game offers just by doing the speedrun. So another very interesting thing, the way this game is balanced, is the inventory that any NPC in this game sells to you is solely based on your level. And since we are now at basically the max level of the game, we have access to the best items in the game that you can buy for money. Which is exactly what we are going to do here. So not only are we going to be, you know, max level powerful, we're also going to have access to basically the best equipment in the game, except from some legendary items that you are only getting through quests that obviously we are not going to do because we don't have time for it.
We're going to buy a very interesting spread of accessories here. I honestly don't know why we pick the specific ones we do. I just kinda have accepted it.
It's always good.
Yep. And I have not changed my notes for it, so if it works, it works.
I think that specific spread just gives you the most attack power on all of your characters.
The only thing
If
I'm
not mistaken, or
wondering
it at
is-
least makes you hit certain damage thresholds or breakpoints.
The interesting one is Ari. We just make her a lot more tanky. Mostly. But I suppose she's kind of a backup healer, so it sort of makes sense.
Which is also pretty squishy. So, you know, you kind of want her to survive a hit or two, I suppose.
Actually, yeah, that's true. Both Pike and Yasuo do get access to lifesteal, whereas Ari...
Like, none of the characters we have at the moment are, like, really tanky. They're all kind of glass cannons. Speaking of... get this, you get the... Get... Crushing bullet. Found cloak, yes. Oh, right. I forgot.
Nature's ring?
Yes.
Yes.
I'm doing this in a very roundabout way. I was not supposed to go back to the gondola. Oops.
It's a very slight time loss doing it this way. I did time it a bunch of times.
Because I was supposed to take the lift down to the harbor here instead of the gondola.
Having killed all of those bosses along the way, we're also going to get access to the drops that they have, and those can be traded in for black marks, which we should have a good amount of here.
There it is.
I like that the thing's at 18 and we just get 60.
Math. How does it work?
Or did you say 18? Maybe it's at 48. I'm blind. Lots of runes.
Whatever. Should be fine. Like, obviously, because, you know, once again, Ari isn't level 30. My menu with her is a little bit messed up, but shouldn't matter in the long run. Too much, at
I
least.
think she's missing 2 runes.
Something like that, yeah.
But the runes on Ari are not the most important because she isn't the main damage dealer. So
Exactly.
it doesn't matter that much what you put on.
Honestly, I want to say she's mostly along for the ride between Yasuo and Pike, who will just basically melt everything. She's just basically there to lend a little bit of support and finish enemies off or weaken them. For the other two to go ahead and wreck them.
Yes, there was.
Yes.
So here we are in the Purification Temple, which is for some reason riddled with Naga.
I mean, it's underwater.
Sure, but isn't this supposed to be another Buru temple?
I mean, yeah, but underwater? Underwater means Naga, right? That's just RPG 101.
Fair. Another thing I've been trying to optimize, since there isn't really much to do outside of trying to make fights bearable and heroic, I've been trying to optimize movement. And for this section, I've managed to make it slightly faster with some slight changes to the order you do things.
Let's see if I remember to do it.
Oh, you're doing the new. Oh my god.
I'm trying. I've seen it once, so I'm just going from memory here. So don't scream at me if I do it wrong.
Mm-hmm. Don't go through yet. I'll just let you do it.
Oh wait, would that skip the cutscene?
If you... No, it does play, but... because if you just stay on the other side, you don't need to transition. You can just do the whole left side. That's my thinking.
Okay, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Click that.
So you can't just put that thing back in position immediately.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Alright.
So the way this puzzle works is we need the beams to hit both the big orbs next to this gate at the end. There's a couple different variants you can do this with. Apparently you can use the right side as well, which I was not aware of. But it is apparently just slower. Now this is the most fun trap segment of the game for sure.
Is it?
Just love running into spikes. It's great.
Yeah, what you can't do is you can't just continuously run into the spikes and slowly edge your way in front of them to go a little bit faster, but I don't know. It's so stupid.
It's annoying.
It is so absolutely stupid.
And this is also a very recent tech that no one has done in a real run yet. I was just testing different patterns for the puzzle and then saved and loaded and realized, oh wait, you just get out.
It saves a bit of time having to go back there.
So once again, we're doing a sun and a moon puzzle.
Who would have thought?
Moon puzzle isn't quite as engaging.
But it has a soft lock potential.
Wait, it does?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, babe.
I'm just unlocking new fears in you, aren't I?
1, 3, 4.
So in this next room there is another cutscene that is happening once you get close to one of the murals. But there are two enemies in front of it that start running away from you when you get close. And if they are in the way, as I explained earlier, then Ari, I think it is, can get stuck on them. Or I think it's Ilawi. On this guy on the left there. So it should be fine now.
Sure.
But yeah, there's this cutscene, right? And if this enemy that you see on the screen there isn't the path of Ilawi or Braum or any of the other characters that are walking over there, they will get stuck on the enemy and not proceed, and you're basically just soft-locked. So you want to be very sure that that enemy is not on the way of this cutscene playing out.
Actually,
Corners.
why is it... why is it that the moon tablets are always fighting frostbite?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, there's a thing there on the fight timeline. As you get more runes into different paths for the characters, you unlock new bonuses, and at a specific threshold there's a chance for the character to set up like a zone on the timeline. And if you manage to land into that zone, you get a cool effect usually. They don't do... how should I say this? Because they're random, or they show up randomly, it's a little bit difficult to actually make use of them, and because each character has 2 different ones, so that's 6 random effects that could happen randomly. It's, you know, something you really
Yeah, on top of the boss dictated ones or random world effects or whatnot.
But they do have some cool effects, like the one that Ari sets down. It applies... what is it? It's like, I think it applies 2 debuffs to everything, or 3, I don't know.
Can't quite remember.
And
It's definitely not reliable to set up though.
Pike has one that applies some very big damage over time effects on all enemies on screen. Yasuo has one that increases your speed, haste, it stays for the whole fight. Stuff like that. Here's an annoying boss fight. Even though it's kind of easy, it's a little annoying.
And that overflows.
Because if you bad luck, the enemy can just go into an immunity state.
Or you can kill him with one attack.
Yeah, or that.
Again, that was a boss fight, everybody. I hope you didn't blink.
And it has been. We
I
must.
guess it's more of an issue when you don't have access to a million runes and books.
Oh,
and,
yeah, for sure.
equipment.
And on level 30 and whatnot.
This game is so easy.
Is it though? I don't know.
Everyone should join the Speedrun Discord for Rune King right now.
Yes, you should. Absolutely.
This blaze.
You could be a top 3 runner in no time. Because there's 2 runners.
So, there actually is a category where you do skip all of the fights instead of, you know, fighting them like I do here.
He's not getting
I think the world record is like just shy of 2 hours. It's basically just a very a speedrun that is very heavily dependent on the movement because, again, like all the fighting, all the leveling, all the item buying and whatnot is basically taken out of it. Drone port.
So in terms of story, we've now cleansed Maokai's corrupted seed and we're going to bring it back to him so he can, I guess, start cleansing the
What
isles.
the fuck did I just do?
What? Huh? Oh, you walk to the lady.
You have when we with Pike.
You can actually move.
Did I am about. I knew. I say.
So you're currently kind of to the top left of the boat. There's the lady who gives you the rumors.
Okay. Oh, that's a first. Well, that never happened before. It's a marathon run.
Let's go.
2.5 hours in, it's finally a marathon run. Praise be.
Now we have the seed. We're gonna go back to Maokai, give it to him so he can start cleansing the isle. But before that, we meet up with this weird necrit guy, who is actually a lore YouTuber for Ruined King or Ruined King. League of Legends. And for some reason, he just became a character in this game, which is very cool. For the longest time, I actually thought he voices himself, but apparently it's done by a guy who is just very good at impersonating Necrit's voice.
Imagine voice actors.
Yeah.
Yes.
Can't believe they didn't cast Bowie for this missed opportunity.
So in the background of all of this, Thresh and Gangplank have some sort of deal where Thresh has promised Gangplank that he'll be able to rule Bilgewater or get it back again. But to do so, he would need the power of the Ruined King. And I think at this point it's already clear that Thresh is just trying to use Gangplank to free the Ruined King to take over the world or something.
As a Thresh is basically like a being that feeds on souls, and he basically wants to quote-unquote use the Ruined King to, well, kill a lot of people, so he has a lot of souls to feed on. So, very simple. And Gangplank just wants to use the Ruined King's power to be able to rule Bilgewater again. So they kind of, you know, all have their own ulterior motives.
The myth. I gotta agree with you.
The Ruined King just wanted to see his wife.
Exactly.
He killed him. Wait, hold on. How did it go? Did he kill her?
I think she just died of a disease or something,
Yeah,
and that
she
is why
died.
he came to
tried
the Blessed
revive
Isle.
her. Yeah, okay, so lore time. Viego used to rule the Blessed Isles, now called the Shadow Isles, and his wife died. I forget the reason. He was very sad, and he wanted to resurrect her. So he brought her to the Blessed Waters and in doing so,
Like vengeance.
everything kind of went to shit. The waters got corrupted, and her wife killed him. So she came back alive, took his. The sword he's imprisoned in right now, yeah.
Yeah.
And stabbed him right through his chest. And now he's sealed away. And the Isles aren't really what they used to be.
So basically they were like healing waters, but they were meant for healing, not for resurrecting, because obviously that goes against nature's law and order, blah blah blah. We've all heard that before. And that is what basically corrupted the whole place. Oops.
And Malka used to be the guardian of the Isle, and sort of still is, but he's much weaker now because the waters have been corrupted and...
Yep. Obviously, you know, he's like a tree, so a plant, so he kind of needs water to survive, and yeah.
What?
Yeah. Just like we do. Stay hydrated, everybody.
That's a very good idea.
They're basically just a plant with very complicated feelings.
Let's take the portal.
I can do that on the way back.
Okay.
But yeah, I actually one time tested out, hey, do I actually need to activate that teleporter to be able to use it? And yes, you do.
Yeah, I also learned it the hard way. I saw Umumu do it in his world record run before I started and was like, why would you do that? That seems very slow.
Yeah, yeah.
Then I was confused why I couldn't teleport back to it later.
Exactly.
But, okay, so now we are in Thresh's castle, stronghold, whatever this place is. It's basically a prison for spirits. Very nice place. And we need to climb it.
It's basically,
Right
I think,
now
the biggest dungeon in the game as well.
Yep, for sure. Multi-level. Lots of stuff you need to do here. So there was a gate that was blocking our passage. To open said gates, this very nice big revenant told us what we need to open it. It's this amulet that just so happened to be right there on a table. By bringing it back to him and giving a little blood offering, he offered to empower the necklace so we can use it to open some gates. And as we move upward in the tower, we're going to need to empower it further to open.
If you look at this door, there's like one lantern on it, and our amulet is just strong enough to basically open doors, you know, that only have one lantern on it, but obviously we need to open doors that have multiple lanterns on it at one point, so we need to keep strengthening it.
Wait, there's multiple lanterns on the later ones? Hold on.
Yeah?
I have never paid attention.
Yeah, see, there's like this one lantern on this one. It's pretty
I can see that one,
much.
yeah.
Yeah, okay. Keep that in mind.
So you're saying the later ones have more?
Yeah, 2, 3, and 4. That is how you can tell what kind of level amulet you need. See, this other one has 2. It's like 2 on top of each other.
Oh, it is! Oh, okay. I thought they were going to be side by side.
No,
which
no, 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 no.
I probably would have seen.
Yeah,
which
no,
is
no,
why
no,
I was
no,
a
no,
little
no, no, no.
confused.
I'm not pulling your leg, I'm actually meaning this.
So as we go along, we're also going to pick up some items that seem to be unrelated to anything, but they are going to be needed for a ritual a little bit later down the line. So on the first floor we picked up a bell, and here we are going to get some sort of memory orb. This guy, why does he have it?
Nobody
I already know,
knows.
or maybe
Nobody
he
cares.
says it and I just, you know, who reads?
Not
Or
us,
Reddit skills,
obviously.
Let's be real. We bring the memory orb back to this attendant, and turns out it's actually his memory. Why is it in crystallized form and on some random guy? They probably say it, but we don't know what actually is the deal. He knows how to empower the amulet further, and he does so for us. And once he does, he forgets everything again. And now we can apparently open gates with 2 vendors, as we just learned. Amazing. So you're actually saying the next gate is going to have 3?
Yes.
I can't believe I've never never paid enough attention to see.
I mean, it's not something that, you know, immediately springs in your eye. But if you look at it long enough, you start to see it.
Even in my casual playthrough, I just went around and empowered the necklace like you would, assuming that the next gate is going to need more empowered or something. Huh. But yeah, there Viego and Gangplank had a little bit of a heart-to-heart. Gangplank's
See, that's 3.
Okay, but those were side by side. Okay, I see. Yeah, Gangplank thinks the Rune King Viego is just a little
sissy boy.
A sissy boy, thank you. I think he might actually use those exact words.
Something closer. Because Viego just keeps going on about his dead wife all the time. Ever moving is Ocean. Everyone has it there. That's death. And fate.
So here the imp is going to ask us some questions. The first 2 are random, but basically how I do it, I've written the first word of the question and the corresponding answer. There's, I think, like 6 or 5 different questions that the imp can ask, and the last one will always be the same one, and the answer will be fate, which is the 3rd option. And there we do a little side quest, well, not really side quest, but we pick up some incense. From the imp we got something else that I forget what it was. And here's a funny thing.
Didn't want to talk to it again.
Okay. And yes, the combat is turn-based. Someone asking you chat. This is Omilan. I think that's his name.
I think so, yeah.
Yes, Omilan, yeah.
So he basically wants those 3 items that we've already collected. The bell, the incense, and whatever else the 3rd was. I think the prayer book. To be able to commune with his masters so we can identify the name of that demon that is trapped in that thingy thing back there. So we can continue on.
Only so we can open the next gate that has...
3 belts.
Oh, only 3, okay.
Now we don't get
Are
the
there
amulet.
gates with 4?
Yeah. That's the one that leads to the forge where the legendary weapons are.
Really?
Hmm?
But I unlocked that place in my no-dupe routing. I should remember this.
But I think it's like the only door that requires 4. But then again, it's been a while since I've done that, so...
So yeah, we need the true name for this demon, and as you know, when you know the true name of a demon, you have power over them or something. And very nicely empowers our amulet further.
Oh. Yeah, see? 3 bells! Step aside.
Now we get to the top floor. To the Library of Agony.
Oh.
Ooh.
Scary?
Do you upgrade your weapons to epic here?
Yes.
Okay.
Wait.
You.
Yes.
Not exactly sure if it's really needed to do that, but you know, might as well, especially now that Ari didn't hit level 30.
It really helps with consistency. I
Yeah.
highly recommend it in general. And it's so quick too.
Again, you know, a little bit of a marathon safety never hurt.
I
So throughout this whole section, Ari has kind of been the main character, and we're learning more and more that apparently her race, the Basani, have a very deep connection to the Blessed Isles for some reason. I forget the exact reason, but
I hope that
she can just operate all these weird mechanisms and... yeah. I think a big part of her story here is that she's looking for signs of her ancestors.
Oh, look at that. That guy isn't afraid of me anymore.
Yeah. He's your de-aggro.
So basically doing a little bit of a side quest here, so to speak, to upgrade our weapons from our 3 main characters to epic quality. Which just gives them like a stat boost.
It increases the stats by a lot.
Which makes us deal even more damage. Hooray!
Wow.
Wowee!
Are you gonna heal before Thresh?
I think I've gotta risk it actually. Feeling adventurous.
Okay, okay.
If it bites me in the butt, it'll bite me in the butt.
I mean, look.
And here we can once again see why Braum is such a great
I think this is Brom's biggest mark on the story. A contribution, I should say, to progress and whatnot.
I'll talk about story
Are we
in a bit,
interrupting?
because there's a big reason why Braum is actually here, like someone in chat asked earlier, but I didn't want to spoil the story at that point because we weren't there yet. So here's Thresh. He has a very cool mechanic with terror. Terror is the mechanic, yeah. He applies stacks of terror to, you know, our party members, and if you get to 20 stacks, the character just dies. Which is very cool.
Yeah, but he kind of dies before that, so...
Wait, did Ari level up?
Yeah, she got 1 level.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
So,
It's gang.
yeah, story-wise, so the reason Braum is here is he wanted to get to the Blessed Isles to get some of the Blessed Water to make medicine to heal his people in the Freljord, because there's a big plague or something going on. And Braum, being the hero of the Freljordians, he took the task upon himself to save his people, and that's why he's here. But, well, as we kind of already talked about, the Ruined King corrupting the waters earlier, there isn't really much left. And after we went and purified the corrupted seed and gave it back to Makai, he was able to give some of the now blessed water to Braum. Actually, I think he needs specifically Makai's leaves. I forget how it goes. Apparently it's a tradition that they would come to the island every now and then and ask for stuff from Makai.
Something like that, yeah.
It's kind of fun how they try to tie all these vastly different areas of the League universe together.
Wait!
It is very Braum-like to go out of his way to do the most ridiculous.
Alright, we've thrashed Thresh. Now we're gonna gangplank.
Enough of your schemes.
And then the game is over, right? What else is there to do?
This is the big bad. And you can see that he's empowered by the Ruined King here because he's pulling. He has some funky mist powers. I think he sets up some 8 stacks of mist barrier. Each hit he takes, 1 of the barriers gets taken off, and I think each stack reduces his damage taken by 5% or 10%, I forget.
Doesn't matter, it's over.
Yeah, it doesn't matter on story difficulty. We're so strong. Like, that's one of the reasons we really want the epic weapons, because it puts us just over the edge so that we can sort of kind of one-shot him very easily.
He's
Because otherwise you can sometimes get ranged and then it gets awkward.
Yeah, we still have Bilgewater, right? You defeated the big bads?
He's hard.
Thresh.
Maybe.
Well, we need to stop the Ruined King apparently. Because apparently he fled. So what happened was Ari used the Sunstone that we got from that weird construction in Thresh's library to, I think it was free or separate the Ruined King from Gangplank. But in doing so, the Ruined King was set free and now he's
The Ruined
In a bat, I
take over the world and save his queen.
Looks like we caught up to our
He's
king.
dead.
So yeah, now sadly, you know, we were trying to follow the Ruined King back to Bilgewater because that is where he is going, but we get kinda, not necessarily shipwrecked. We got thrown to this island, and the ship needs some repairing, and while the ship is being repaired, we are going on a little spiritual journey.
This part of the story is the weirdest one to me. It does not feel like it belongs at all.
I think it's like really they were trying to make sense of Yasuo in a way, to give him like a little bit of a story development. It's like all I can really think about, because like this whole segment is about him, but it really comes out of the blue. Like it is not connected to anything else that is happening in the story.
Yeah.
I mean, it is connected to him and his backstory, just not to the story of the game in any meaningful way.
Well,
So it's definitely a bit superfluous.
A lot of the things that are going on here sort of feel like it's hinting towards another game in the series or a sequel or something, where you maybe follow Yasuo's story or Braum's story, but it's been a couple years since the game came out, and they kind of got rid of the Riot Forge
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
So we're not gonna have any more fun side games of League of Legends, unfortunately, until the MMO releases in 2016.
You're kidding me.
Just
The moment I hit to, I have to hit these, well, I don't want to call them switches, but these thingies there on the side with the Yasuo. But I can't really do this when these idiots are in the way. Oh, you are actually coming after me. Oh, that's interesting. Guess that's because Ari is only 29 instead of 30?
yeah.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah, this area gets a little annoying if you don't have everyone at full or maxed out.
Yeah, I'm starting to notice. Again, this is the first time I've had Ari at only 29 instead of 30 here.
So we're probably going to hit the couple extra encounters here. Probably just one on the way.
I knew I was gonna run into them again.
Got work to do.
Oh, first try flee, let's go.
Nice.
Oh my god. Getting stuck on everything. But this guy runs away from me. I don't know, like.
And the ugly.
Just slow for me, buddy.
And those should be the last enemies in this area. Thankfully this turtle just sleeps.
If there are a couple more puzzles you could solve to grab more items and whatnot, but you know, obviously we're not gonna do any of that in the speedrun.
temple. Which seems to be everywhere. Which kind of makes sense. Have you ever bonked into this last gate?
I actually have not. At least not during a speedrun.
Same. I don't even know if it's possible.
I'm pretty sure I did during my casual playthrough just to test it out at one point, but it's been a while.
So here we get some Yasuo lore. For some reason there's a whirlwind here and he sees his old
Anyone know
master.
what's this place? Okay.
And
Yes.
then there's a, I don't know, something happens and the vision turns into his brother who is dead. It's Yon and we need to... This bit is actually kinda cool. Like Yon has the same skills as Yasuo does and you sort of need to counter what he does. It's very interesting, but we don't really get to see much of it here.
Regardless,
Story
Well, the big thing
difficulty
is-
be story difficulty.
But the big thing is that you can't really do much damage to him unless you do a fully charged. I don't even know what moves are called.
Raging Wind.
You need to have full stacks of Steel Tempest, I think is the
Yeah.
thing. And only then will your
Looks like the
moves
ship
really
is
do damage.
that's
Also, I hate that fact that in this menu, for some reason, the locations are at different, spots
Oh,
in the
yeah.
list.
I
It
don't get why they
throws
aren't
me off
in
every time.
chronological order.
Yeah. Or at least alphabetical or something that makes sense.
welcome. I bet.
fortune
Windwater
might
should be
fly
at the
still-
top,
You know,
then it should be
most-
Drowned Port, then
Not
Serpentile, and last should be Windbreak Isle. But no,
You should let me go.
No, that
I
I
will.
had something in mind. Oh yeah, at some point, apparently on the Rune King Reddit, someone had accidentally gone through the gate on Windbreak Isle and gotten to Yon right away, somehow. I tried to reach out to him way back in the day, but I never got an answer, so...
Go and
By the way, we are fast approaching the end of the game here, so if any of the organizers are around, I think there are like, I don't know, 15 minutes or so left in the run. So if you want to go ahead and, ping the next runner to get ready and set up, we are definitely approaching that point. So I don't think we will hit the 320 mark. Probably below 320. Unless something goes catastrophically wrong now, which I don't hope. But maybe I just jinxed myself, so we'll see.
all right, Raffin.
But yeah, I would estimate about 15
This
minutes
city
left
has
in the run or
weathered
so.
Who are we?
So there's 1, 2,
What did your
3,
There is
4
we
boss
could
fights?
Before
yeah?
There's one dungeon and about 4 boss fights left, yeah.
Fortune.
I thought,
The people.
but so.
I hope.
Ah, but thank you. After.
Where we get to have mishaps? Let's go!
I think we can show off something fun at least, to fill a little bit of time if needed.
So there is the
Because
cutscene
we
skipped.
have set up that one save, like all the way at the beginning of the run. And we might come back to it.
Definitely inconsequential. It was just a safety save in case we died to the ghosts.
Oh yeah, right. I mean, they were kind of scary. This is a horror game after all, everybody. Remember that?
Okay. So in the cutscene that we skipped, we could see that the Ruined King is kind of wreaking havoc all over the place, and we need to stop him. But we don't really have the means to do so right now.
Exactly.
So we're gonna go back to our boy Nikrit the lore master himself. He was apparently the advisor to Viego in the past, so he knows things. He's gonna tell us what we need to do.
Which also means that we have to go back to the Shadow Isles. So if you haven't picked up on it, there's a lot of going back and forth between Bilgewater and the Shadow Isles in this game.
And this is where we really start to get to the, I guess, final arc of Ari's lore.
We have
She's finally going to get to the place where her people used to, I don't know, conduct experiments or something on memories and souls and stuff. The Vault of the Vesani. There's folk statues as well to really show you that, yeah, this is the place. Ari is a fox, not a cat, in case someone was wondering. More fun light puzzles.
So you kind of see the pattern on the wall there that you have to form with the, you know, light bulbs down here. Or lasers or whatever the hell you want to call them.
Nice.
And yeah, this is the last dungeon of the game, the Vault of the Vesani.
Reset. I can't focus. There.
We should put.
And Ari will keep seeing visions of how her ancestors used to work here. And in this dungeon, enemies are always going to aggro to you,
Yeah.
even if you are max level.
Seems like
It is the last
the
dungeon.
vault.
Again, the enemies have finally caught up on level to us. Which is something that doesn't happen really often in RPG speedrun, I would say.
So here our job is to activate 3 pylons, or 3 pylons for the light puzzle that is blocking the next gate. So there's 3 different sections that we need to go through here.
This can be a little bit finicky, so I'm just gonna try and kite them around here. Because it takes a little bit of time to activate these pylons. Don't wanna get interrupted by an enemy because that can sometimes have weird effects if an enemy runs into you while you're interacting with these things. Obviously, I do not want that. Oh, I didn't see the enemy because it was behind the thingy thing.
Another friend.
Was blindsided.
Not half bad.
But hey, I can still run away, which is nice.
Usually once you reset the game once, you really
Yeah,
should
be
not
fine.
be seeing the flea bug again.
So there's this golem that is kind of in the way, but you're gonna hit him with some emotional damage. Then he breaks apart, and we can go this way.
So in the first room we went to, we sort of, I guess, activated the golems from their slumber, and for some reason that one just breaks.
There's another safety save here because there is potential for a soft lock in this room. Because once again, enemies can run into you while this cutscene happens down here. Like especially these 2 dudes. So I want to go and try and kite them away. Oh god. Kind of forgot about those guys.
No more running.
Well, about that. Good
Wow,
thing,
okay,
good thing I made that save. Good thing I made that save. I knew why I made that save.
I would... Okay. I would personally just hard reset because you're going to be forced to get into encounters in the last part.
Let's see about that. Okay, let's see. It should be fine, but again, if any of these enemies are where Ari walks... Okay, we're far enough away. But where does that put me now?
It should put you where you...
Probably where I
interacted
stand.
before.
Oh god, okay. That works. But yeah, if an enemy was standing where Ari was walking, and then again she would get locked in place, the cutscene wouldn't resolve, and we would be soft locked. I don't even know if I need that sigil actually.
You don't. Now we get to fight two big golems. I forget if they have anything interesting in terms of mechanics. They are annoying in that they can stun, which can interrupt your combo here.
This isn't good.
They won't forget that.
Never gets old.
What if
There's some
trapped
Easy
the
peasy.
Sonic.
and interesting this
Thankfully the boys have got it covered.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the second pylon, and then there is one more that we need, and then we get to do another fun light puzzle.
This guy always scares me a little bit, simply because you have to wait for this long door to wind down. Ugh.
It always feels like the golem should catch up to you, but he doesn't quite. It's always scary.
Ah, come on, really.
More to the blade.
I think I'm just gonna go ahead and take this fight. Because I'll probably just run into them otherwise anyway.
I'm surprised that the flea bug can just happen again. Annoying.
It is what it is, as they say.
Never gets old.
Do you think that clears the flea bug state?
I have no idea. Guess we'll find out. Oh, it might. Interesting. Only problem is I have to go through there again. But I might just be able to run away again.
Got you like a fish.
Nope.
What? Wait, huh?
Don't ask it, just accept it. I have no clue.
We're doing science. Why?
Basically.
Quests themselves aren't really an issue, it's just that they are an epic time. It's just ask them to play if you can. It is funny to see that Yasuo has 4k HP, whereas fucking You're just squishy, boy. Ah, you did a lot of damage.
Hey, now she's low 30.
Ah, yeah, that was intentional. Intentional level grind. I see, I see.
So another fun thing, I had it happen here once, and I don't know why, that I also had a soft lock in this cutscene.
Yes, I've had it happen as well
Yeah,
once,
when
and it
Ari
was
is
the
walking on the
weirdest
bridge.
thing.
And
Yeah.
there was just nothing happening, that she was just standing right there in this spot and just nothing happened.
I think it happened in one of my world record pace runs back in the day, and I was so done after that.
I can imagine.
So the game can be fun to run, but when you just hit these like inexplainable things back to back to back, it gets old really quick.
I mean, I have to admit, I like playing this game casually more than like the speedrun of it. But, well, it's what it is, I guess.
That's why I only really revisit the game like once or twice a year. It's for
Fair.
mental stability reasons.
But it is a very fun game casually, for sure.
I highly recommend it if anyone is interested in
Absolutely.
League of Legends lore. You don't have to like the main game, League of Legends.
I mean, you don't even have to be interested in League of Legends itself. It's just, you know, a very good JRPG on its own terms, I feel.
That too. Rather, I guess what I'm trying to get at is, if you think
Yes, that
League
I
is
said
bad,
yes
or
to Black
people have
Embassy.
told you League is bad, this game is not League. This game is actually a
Yeah.
fun game. So don't let the League of Legends tag keep you away.
Okay, so we basically have 3 boss fights here, more or less back to back, with like slight interruptions, but they're basically, no normal encounters anymore, it's just boss fights, and then we're done with the game.
The Black Mist, there is a...
Assuming you win.
Yeah, we've all seen it. Yes,
Can you?
yes. All along, I thought...
So here we have the Sun Orb
Yes.
that used to free Gangplank from Diego's grasp, but now we have it here to, I guess, cleanse or empower it or something. I'm not entirely sure. I think Ari sensed some... She sensed Diego's grief in the memories, and somehow they're infusing the orb with that, and So one fun thing with Pyke and Yasuo at this point in the game is that Yasuo applies, I think it's a bleed every time he crits, and Pyke just has a million damage over time effects anytime he hits and crits and whatnot. So enemies often just die on their own turns, because they take so much damage over time.
Where... All this traveling, I thought if my hands... Now...
I can.
What's happening here is, I think Ari just absorbs the remaining memories of her ancestors, or the other way around, freeze them, I forget, to become all powerful.
Yeah.
The energy I
Another once
Then we
I'm
have our
if
last
I
trial to
spent
see if we are
when
worthy.
you yes,
Anytime I get to this part
I
of the
would-
game, I like to joke about Pike being worthy or not, because in another world record pace run, the game just stops here when Pike says, "I'm worthy."
Oh,
He would not move
no.
forward.
we have all
And
It's kind of hilarious and sad at the same time.
he was not worthy that time. Yeah, here's the avatar of Nagakaboros. Looks like a simple fight on the surface. We're just gonna do our normal kill combo attempt here.
good instincts.
After taking one big hit, I think it might be a damage threshold. The boss is going to set up a barrier where it can only be damaged with ultimates. Right there. Takes one damage per hit.
You always.
What we're gonna try to do here is get Pike's ultimate. It does one hit, and then the rest of the hits do damage.
Quick as a
And
ball.
there's 10 hits.
The wind stand ready.
Back on my feet.
Sit below.
Yep.
So
an avatar for too long.
now,
Let
with the
her-
help of the Buru Forge, we have empowered the
Sarah.
amulet to its maximum potential.
Sorry,
We're now ready to take on the Rune King.
Skank.
But first, we need to
After
have some
I
heart-to-heart
put
between Ilaoi and MF.
until
And this is when Ilaoi
she
finally
wants
tells
gangplank.
You do.
MF that
Stop.
she
It doesn't
was actually the
change
one that
now.
helped
Once the
Gangplank
root-
Sarah,
back
it
to
will
health.
help.
Watch your tone.
And
I
she knew this whole
simply-
time that he was
For
alive.
now.
And MF isn't really that happy about it.
No, she really is not, is she? Okay, so I think I'm gonna do a really funny and stupid thing here, because the only thing left now that we need to do is confront the Ruined King and end the game. And we're gonna do this in a very interesting way that you discovered.
Are you gonna do it? Okay.
Yeah.
So,
We can do
When
the
I
fight
was-
normally afterwards, but
I see, okay. So when I
Just gonna
was
give it a
trying to
try.
reroute the game without the dupe glitch, I did attempt some boss fights over and over and over. And one time, for some reason, when I went into the boss fight, it just died. I don't know why. And then I found out that apparently there's some sort of victory state glitch where if you kill an enemy and then open the menu and load another save, the next encounter you have is just going to instantly die. Spoilers.
so get ready on time.
And the reason we save back in the tutorial area with MF is because that's the easiest way to get to a fight that we can kill fast.
Okay, so we're going to the final boss fight.
We get one shot at this.
Let's get the
We don't
cutscene.
stop.
We're going to win the fight, and that's time.
He's down. This is our chance. Hit him now, Ari. You're
Very
alone.
funny glitch.
He's alive.
But that was a bit anticlimactic, wasn't this? But the reason why I wanted to specifically do this was because this is a PB!
Let's go!
This won't stop.
A marathon
What do we
PB! Dun, 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 dun. But yeah, since this was a little bit anticlimactic and since we still have a bit of time to kill, I'm just gonna kill the ending there, and I'm just gonna reload my save that I did before, and I guess if it's okay with the organizer, just gonna do the fight the normal way. It takes less than 5 minutes, maybe 4 or so. Just, you know, to show you guys what the final fight would actually be like, because feels a bit rushed at the end there. Because, I mean, the insta-kill glitch that we just did here, I think that is something that you do against a lot of the bosses in your heroic route now, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, I do it on every boss after Maokai.
There's a lot of reloading going on there. And obviously, you know, with the setup time, it's not really that worth it on story difficulty. I mean, obviously, you know, for some of the bigger boss fights, it definitely is worth it, but it can also have some wonky interactions with the game because, again, it's held together by spaghetti and prayers. But, you know, I wanted to show it off for the run, and I definitely wanted to show it off if I knew I would get a PB out of it, so I just wanted to go for that. Otherwise, I would have done the other way around, but here we go. Here we do the final boss, the, I want to say, intended way. I know, it's gonna take a short while longer.
We get one shot at this. If we...
I mean, secondly, we got a second shot at it. Misfortune there, but here we go. This is it. This is the Ruined King. And we're mostly doing the same thing I did before. Oh, hang on, that's a interesting start.
Contain the wind.
The usual stuff setting up crit with Yasuo and then just doing damage. Diego has some cool mechanics where he sets up these mist fields on the timeline, which is gonna do right here. You can't actually do damage to him unless you land in one of those zones. So this is where the speed and power lane stuff comes into play. You usually have the buff, so you can just do it. Here's phase
2.
2? Yeah, phase 2. He summons corrupted versions of the other half of your party. They can be a little annoying if they get their beacons. Then phase 3, he gets a big shield. And now he's very angry. Oh, there's his ult.
This isn't good.
And that is the fight.
Nice.
Again, as you can see, even though this was the final boss, right, it wasn't that much longer, I want to say. I mean, obviously it was longer than, you know, having the fight instantly be over. But, I don't know, this was faster by, what, like 2 minutes? Which, you know, is not insubstantial, but it's not as much time as you would think that a final boss will take. But yeah, that's the game, everybody. That was Ruined King, a League of Legends story for the first time in an RPG marathon. So I'm really happy I got to show this off. Again, it's a really good game, definitely casually. If you haven't played this casually, definitely go and give it a try. I'm pretty sure it will be on sale soon again. You know, Christmas is quote-unquote right around the corner. Might be able to get it cheap there if you want to. It's not a really long game, even if you go for like 100% completion. I want to say it takes you like maybe 40 hours or so. If you complete all the side content, you can probably get through this in like a casual weekend. And if you do all of it, well, maybe 2 weekends or so. So it's not a long game, but it is very fun to play. So yeah, definitely go give it a try. Any shoutouts from you, Xazu?
I guess if the game looked interesting enough, you can join the Ruined King Speedrun Discord. You can find it on Speedrun.com. We don't have too many runners, but it would be nice to have more people. If you find more glitches and bugs, I would be more than happy to, you know, make use of those.
Absolutely. But yeah, so thank you so much for the organizers for having us. It was a blast. Good luck to all the runners in the marathon. I mean, We're only a bit more than a day in, so there's still nearly a full week of speedruns ahead of us. So, you know, don't go anywhere else. Keep watching RPG Limit Break here on Twitch. If you want to see more from me, you can find me on Twitch as Ashma with an underscore at the end. I mainly speedrun samurai games, and Yasuo is a samurai, so this game counts.
Okay.
And yeah, Xazu, you were on this, and I think God, I know the game, I just can't think of the name. Octopath Traveler, there we go.
Yes, I'm in an Octopath Traveler speedrunner, but now taking a longer break and doing some Ruined King here in the middle. Some Pokemon every now and then as well.
Nicely done. Okay, yeah, and that is it from us at this point. Next up, the schedule isn't lying, is Yellows Robot with Mother 3. So stick around for that, and hope to see you guys soon. Until then,
What did you see?
bye bye everybody.
They offered me everything. Bilgewater